When I was a child, my parents told me to never go past the stone line. They say the boundary lands are scarred and dangerous.
But I've been to the capital. The lands are scarred and dangerous there, too.
The people of the kingdom are scared. They're ready for change. They want to be able to dream again.
And now, for the first time in 1,000 years, an expedition is ready to leave Zobari!
We call it the Feld.
It's the size of a city, and believe it or not, it can move.
They're taking the city past the stone line?
Out in the wilderness to find a new place to live.
Sights no mortal has seen before.
Lands untouched by any hand.
We're making our dreams reality.
And forging a new path forward.
Together! Together.
All to find a place where we belong.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Diceburgh. My name is Kurt Stridinger. I'm also known as Mr. Kurtwise, and I am your fearless dungeon master here on Diceburgh on 5% Chance. I'm joined with some fantastic players here at the table, and we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves before we get started. Playing our Kinsai monk Celestina, we have...
Hello, my name is Kurt. I am Kurtwise on TikTok, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I'm going to be your Kalistar monk, Celestina, and I'm excited to introduce our lovely dragonborn, Arguvar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kurtwise, the Bard on TikTok, and I am here mostly because I'm a huge fan of Dumbstat, who happens to have new Dumbstat dice towers made by Nerdsmith. I'm a huge fan of these. Patreon.com/Dumbstat Podcast. Big fan of the show. I am going to be playing Arguvar the Cleric. I am going to now move it over to Big G. Big G, or Kurtwise the Big G, how are you today?
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Kurt, otherwise known as Mr. Kurtwise on TikTok. Thank you all for coming. I am so thankful for all of your love and support. I will be playing the illusion wizard, Big G. You know what? I'm going to throw it over to our druid of the party. Kurt, would you like to take it away?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt. I'm so glad to be here and so happy you are here to share this with us. I'm your druid today. I'll be the water genasi, walking my way through all of the waters. I'm going to throw it over to our paladin, our Leonin Bayor, to take it away to finish off the cast.
Hey everybody, so excited to join you. My name is Kurt Stridinger, also known as Kurtwise, the Bard. On TikTok. I'm just so glad to be here with all of you tonight. Yes, I'll be playing Bayor the Paladin, and hope that everyone here is going to have a wonderful time. So I'm going to pass it over to our DM, Kurt, whenever you're ready.
I'm going to need a minute.
Kurt, it's amazing how you're able to do all of this. It's like an amazing one-man show. Like, how do you do it?
You're
When
incredible.
everybody sees their strings attached to all of us, we're just puppets.
You're all my marionettes. Well,
I'm just
welcome,
happy-
everyone.
We've
We've got a
puppet
really...
who can sell.
We've got a fun episode for you. We start every episode with a little bit of a recap, just in case this is your first time joining us. So the party has been navigating through a region known as the Endless Marsh. It is a vast swamp that they have recently uncovered is actually a blend between two alternate planes of existence, the Feywild and the Shadowfell. The party met a powerful Feywild being known as Kamord deep in the swamp and convinced her to give them a safe place to rest for the night. Upon talking to Commord more the next day, they realized that she, as well as the massive willow tree that covered most of the grove that she referred to as her lover, were actually the archfey of the Spring Court of the Feywild. And that two of them were trapped in the swamp as a result of the plains merging, and that the tree was dying. After some debate as to whether or not the alternate planes actually existed for Arguvar, we learned that Rylin may have a connection to the Winter Court in the Feywild. We also learned Beor had a connection to the Feywild as well, because upon hearing that the entire Feywild would be consumed, he stepped forward and urged the group to go save it. You were shown the way towards your ultimate goal, the Great Trench far off in the distance, as well as the Obelisk that would presumably save the Feywild in the opposite direction. Deciding to leave your captain, your mostly fearless captain, with Commord, you set off towards the Obelisk, narrowly avoiding some of the other denizens of the swamp. You encountered a set of wagon tracks not far from the Obelisk and decided to follow them forward, where you met a stranger from Arguvar's past. And that is where we pick it up. So, to set the scene, the tracks in the ground that you've been following up into this meadow, you follow it in, and this meadow is vibrant and thriving, and it stands in really stark contrast to this graying swamp that's all around you. You see these strange purple crystals jutting out of the ground, and they cast a small glow, a soft glow across the meadow. More of these crystals float above your heads. The ground beneath your feet is solid and dry for the first time since really you've entered the swamp. Rylin noticed previously the two wagons were sitting at the end of the tracks that you followed here. However, something caught your attention before you could investigate further. The body of a massive black dragon was strung up at the base of the obelisk. It was missing a tail and one leg completely, as well as large amounts of its scaled hide seems to have been harvested and stripped. You can see bones and muscle peeking out from underneath, and the ground beneath it is stained a dark red. A shadowy figure stands up from beneath the dragon, the front of their cloak dripping wet with a dark liquid. The figure holds in one hand a staff topped with a horned skull in a red scaled hand. They raise their other hand to lower their hood, and you see a second hand, much larger than the first, covered in thick green scales. To the rest of you, as he lowers his hood, it appears to be an elderly red dragonborn. But despite his age, he stands tall, with his chest puffed out at your approach. But Arguvar, this is a face you know very well. And as you approach, there is a swirl of arcane energy that is crackling out from around his hand, and you see it swirling up the staff. And you can see that he is tense and prepared for something. As he says, Arguvar, I thought I smelled the stench of a coward in this swamp.
The only coward here is you, Kroll. What is the meaning of this?
I would have thought someone as smart as you would have figured it out by now.
In Argivar's mind, he hears a quick connection as I reach in and say, "Who is this person? What's going on?"
He's the person who wiped out my cult. Pearl, I'm going to ask you once. Stop what you are doing, put down your staff, and come quietly. Otherwise, I will be forced to kill you.
No, Arguvar. It is not I who will die today. And there is no stopping what I have in store.
I'm going to take my sword out, point, and prepare yourself for death. It will not be quick, but it will come now. And I charge in with my sword.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
As you charge in, You see,
do it.
as soon as you take that step forward, the moment that he has been waiting for, he taps his staff on the ground, and the arcane energy that has been building up in the staff is released from the mouth of the skull, and you see a roaring line of fire burst in front of you. Completely. Hang on, I'm moving it here. Haha. Cutting you off from the other half of the meadow. And on that, please roll initiative.
Oh shit!
Oh God, which die do I use?
I'm gonna roll this one online.
Where?
So it automatically gets added to the tracker.
First roll.
If it makes any difference, I really don't use that tracker.
I'm gonna do it there either way because it's.
Gotcha.
Let's see what I
Dungeon
got.
Master, that is going to be a 19.
All right.
11.
Let me hit him.
Let me at him.
Yeah, as soon as Arguvar told me like that this person has slaughtered his people, Celestina's on board. Weapon is readied.
What about Rylin and Beor?
At a 17.
All right. Speedy. 6?
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was me last time.
Arguvar, you are first here.
Well, Mr. DM, sir, I just happen to be a brass dragonborn. I'm going through these flames.
Okay.
Look. How do I measure distance and time and
The little
space?
ruler.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the... fuck. Alright, I don't... Oh yeah, I can hit him. Yeah, thank you.
Got your back.
Yeet. DM, what do I have to roll as I go through the fire and the flames? Or do I just take the damage?
You
Roll
for
your
this, you just take the damage. I am afraid.
Lovely.
Yeah. So Beor, let me roll some damage here.
Give me the damage.
What's the damage?
I like damage.
I'm the
So
trash
that's 14 total fire damage.
Okay.
Halved for 7 to you.
Okay. Lovely. We're already
Um,
off to a rocketing start. As I charge through the flames, I would like to swing down with my greatsword.
Okay.
May I, Mr. DM? May I hit this man?
Sure, yeah. Arguvar, as you charge through the flames, you come out the other side with some of your robe and cloth singed in fire, and you can see the look on Krull's face go from like intense and focused to surprised for a second, as all of a sudden you're in his face and he was not expecting this. So go ahead and roll your attack.
That is going to be a 17 to hit.
That will hit, yes.
All right. Nice. I like hitting my enemies. It really is rewarding. That is going to be 11 points of damage, as
11.
I will also be casting my spiritual weapon to make another attack.
Okay, go for it.
As I summon mathematics around me. Beautiful equations fill my robes that are singed from the terrible flames of the fire.
Not
That is
pi
going
r
to be-
squared.
Oh wow, that's... I love this dice tower. Okay, cool. 18, baby.
That
Ooh,
also
nice.
hits.
All right. Let me hit him again. Oh, that's a low roll. That's going to be 5 points of damage from my equation.
5
So I
points of
swing down
damage.
as math just whizzes about.
Alrighty here. So that brings us to not Arguvar. Kroll's turn.
Kroll, Omega.
Mega Kroll. You see him as you're in his face. All of a sudden, Arguvar, you see him rear back his neck as you notice this. You know this as a Dragonborn. He's going for his breath weapon. But as he belches forward, what you expect to be red fire is this thick green liquid that coats you and immediately starts to burn and singe at your flesh. I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Yeah, that's a crit fail.
All right.
I welcome it.
You had your
I
mouth
opened
open the
my
whole
mouth.
time.
Please
That
don't
is
beep it.
12 acid damage to
Okay.
you. As then you see he brings his robe up and swirls his robes around him, and his form turns to mist, and he disappears from your view.
That was what I was gonna do.
Let me check one thing real quick. 30 feet. Okay. Yes. So from your perspective, Arguvar. Oh, I can't. Kroll vanishes. Kroll is not able
Doesn't
to be
wanna go.
moved.
Who wants to stay? Hey, DM, let him stay. Let him fucking.
Yeah, so Kroll disappears from view. I'm gonna figure out why I can't move Kroll here in a second. I was.
Ooh,
Oh, now he's going. He wasn't going before. Okay.
not the greatest smoke bomb. Took a couple minutes.
Smoke
I
bomb.
was like,
Oh, hang on.
You
Wait a
got
minute.
away. It worked.
and I was like,
Bayor.
"Tea."
There it goes.
Technical
Okay.
difficulties. Your turn.
So Bayard does not know that he has this ability. He's gonna charge through the flames just to get to Arguvar to help him, but he's gonna misty step while he does it. I'm gonna kind of flavor it like the Feywild is keeping him safe. So he's probably only gonna use misty step whenever he's about to do something reckless, like charge through a wall of fire. So yeah, he's gonna misty step that 40 or that 30 feet. Yep. Boop. And just kind of appear next to Arguvar. And
See where he went.
I don't know if I did. Can I do lay on hands after a spell? I cannot do lay on hands after a spell.
No.
So, yeah. I look around. Do I see?
Yeah, so I will move these up, Arguvar, Bayor, as you make a perception check here. But you will see these.
That's a big A.
16 on the die. Perception is +2, 18.
Okay. Bayor, as you leap through the flames, your form wreathed in mist for a second and becoming untangible, materializing on the other side, sprinting up next to Arguvar, looking around for your enemies disappeared. You look over a fallen tree to your right and see a wisp of smoke materializing in that direction, as well as several very large enemies that appear to be moving in this direction. Over the this one closest to you over this tree is a hulking form of flesh. You see these two green wings that are twisted and malformed, that are almost stuck onto its back uncomfortably. Its face is vaguely human-like, but lengthened into a snout, and two horns are growing out of its head. You see its human-like chest, but all four of its limbs are dragonoid claws that you can see appear to be like stitched on end of the limbs, as this is some form of dragon human hybrid.
I'm out.
Retire. Yeah, I quit. Goodbye.
All right, okay. I look at Arguvar after he says, "Do you see him?" And look at his body. Are you with me?
I'm here. I'll be fine. I need to find Kroll now.
We might have more problems on our hands. And I kind of motion over to the very large, abscessed creatures.
I do not do this much, but I must say, then I'm going to take my sword out and just kind of a wobbly stand. I am soaked in acid and fire, just completely, just my beautiful robes and my beautiful armor singed and destroyed. I'm ready for anything.
Excellent. Then with that, Bayor, it brings us to Big G.
Seeing everybody brave this wall of fire, Big G is gonna run right around it. So I'm just
Like you could like skip over this rock, right? Like you just jump over it.
No. I'm
Bounce right.
going this way. So I can make it right there. Perfect. I'm gonna pop around. What do I see? Do I see everything now?
Yeah, so Big G, you see it. Also, as you pop around the edge of the wall of fire, you feel this intense heat as you skirt between the tree and the wall of fire. This tree now like starting to singe and catch on fire, the some of the branches. But as soon as you duck around the corner, you do feel that heat abates. From this side of the wall. And surveying out, you see your two allies ahead of you, as well as this grouping of enemies over to the right.
I'm just gonna yell back, Celestina, Rylin, we got some company.
Oh gosh.
You guys don't even know yet.
We don't.
You're just like, nah, it's fine. It's okay.
You know
Is that
what?
your turn? Are you doing anything else?
Nope, I'm going to do something. I
Okay.
just didn't expect this. I apologize. I am definitely not within 30 feet, I'm guessing. No. You know what? I'm going to once again, you know what? No, I'm going to cast my second level pyrotechnics on them.
More fire. More fire.
So, I can make a 5-foot cube within 60 feet. And, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. I can extinguish fire in an area or create fire. So I'm going to extinguish a nice little hole in this wall of fire so people can get through more easily.
Okay.
Specifically, like, right in, like, this area.
Okay, and what's the how much is it again? I'm sorry.
It's just 5-foot cube.
5-foot cube. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a door opens up.
Yeah.
Nice.
To let the other party through.
Okay. So yeah, Rylin and Celestina from behind this wall of fire. All of a sudden, you see these flames extinguish in this little doorway.
I also would like to point out that after I extinguish it in that doorway, a bunch of fireworks go off and just like sparklers. Didn't read ahead. My bad.
It's a bedazzled door.
Yeah.
It's like it's saying, right here, come this way.
Yep.
To your allies. Excellent, Big G. That brings us to Celestina.
This is the best Las Vegas casino entrance I've ever seen. Wall of fire.
I see that Big G has decided that the grand entrance is what we need, so not one to miss an opportunity. Celestina is going to run out through that opening, taking about 25 feet. I have a question. This is my first time now seeing this amalgamation, this kind of weird, this stitched together monster. can I reasonably deduce that the person we just saw is the same person who made the ones that were wandering around the swamp just a little bit ago? The one that was like really disturbed Celestina?
Is it the same kind
It
of
is
creation?
distinctly different.
Okay.
Yes. So the creatures wandering around in the swamp, do not appear to be stitched together so much as they appear to be infected or like mutated somewise. This is like clearly a strange, like science-y hybrid.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bonus action to do the Kensei shot, but as I run around here, I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to fire at this the first big guy right here that I see.
Gotcha.
As I see that creature there, I'm going to take the shot. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit.
If I say pretty please.
Unfortunately, still no.
Okay.
Celestina, as you coming through the wall of flame, your first shot, as you see this strange creature just being taken aback by it for a second, your first shot going a little wide.
Yeah, and upon doing that, trying to compose myself, I'm going to use the rest of my movement and just kind of duck behind this rock to try to give myself cover as I get ready, and I'm keeping an eye on everyone else across the field.
Gotcha. Then Celestina, that brings us to the Abomination's turn. You see this creature. Am I on the wrong layer again?
Probably.
I was. Okay. So you see this creature rear its head back, and in a very similar fashion to what Krull just did, you see it spit these large globs. One is going towards Arguvar, one is going towards Bayor, and another is going towards Big G out in this field. Towards Arguvar, that is a 11 to hit. Bayor, that is a 15.
That'll miss.
Big G, that is a natural 1. All three of you, these globules landing off to the side, and you're able to quickly dodge them. And you see as they land on the ground, the grass is quickly eaten and dissolved away as this caustic liquid starts to burn, and you see the Abomination easily stepping over this tree, its hind foot stepping down on the trunk and just cracking it in half as it moves in to occupy you, Bayor. The other Abomination you see now move, immediately start moving off into the swamp. You hear trees snapping and twigs breaking as you see the one cart that is in that clearing being dragged off with it through the swamp. So that one is out for now.
I call over to Big G very quickly. We need to find out what's in that cart.
Roger Dodger.
You see two of the other smaller creatures now move into position closer here. These ones, in a similar fashion to the much larger ones, you see parts of their body have been stitched over and replaced with dragon scales. Each of them have a claw or an arm that has been replaced with a dragon's claw or an arm. They carry these crude-looking clubs that are basically tree branches that have iron spikes placed into them that they drag behind them as they come. The other two you see begin immediately pick up a barrel and move it into the second wagon here and begin to move back to get another barrel. Occupying their turn, just loading the second wagon here. That brings us to Rylin.
Okay. Rylin is going to Let me make sure I'm on the right thing. Slowly learning how to use roll 20. To around there for 25 of her 30 feet of movement. Did I do it? Yeah, through the door. See what is in front of her. And is going to cast Bless on. Let's see who I can get. Oh, I think I can get all the people I want to get. She's gonna cast Bless on Arguvar, Bayor, sorry, Big G, and Celestina. So you all get a D4 added to any attack roll and saving throw, as long as I can maintain concentration.
Hell yeah.
Don't worry, Rylin.
Pull out
I'm
that
just
D4.
blessed by being around my friends.
It's the power of friendship.
You're so sweet.
That's probably trademarked. It's the power of togetherness.
And then as bonus action, I'm going to pull my beautiful quarterstaff out from where I store it and cast Shillelagh. So this now turns into a actual weapon that does a little bit more damage.
Excellent. Yeah, Rylin, now charging up through this door that Big G has created for you. The rest of you, besides Big G, feeling a warmth and a boon coming from Rylin as you slam your staff on the ground and you see the wood of the quarterstaff grows this thick bark that like swells out from it as the vines and moss kind of grow up from the ground and encompass it and make it a thick, heavy weapon in your hands. That brings us back to Arguvar.
Hello. Sorry, I was trying to think of what to do. I would like to. I don't think I can see around this big guy at all, can I?
Make a perception check. Let's see if you could figure out which direction Omega went. You probably can't see him over the big guy in the tree, but you might have an idea of where he went.
If you leaned over really hard.
That's gonna be a 7. I can't find shit. But I would like to. Would I have any inclination about what these things might be, just from knowing what Kroll is like?
Arguvar, you've heard some horror stories about creatures that are a dragon-human hybrid. Specifically, there are lesser cults that are dominated by humans sometimes that will go to great lengths in their worship of dragons to alter their appearance and to attain a more dragon-like body.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
I still have a mental connection to Arguvar. Would I be able to tell him if I can see where the other guy is across the rock? Like, would I be able to relay that information mentally?
I will say you could do that on your turn. Yes.
Okay.
I will then move Arguvar in. With a mighty motion of my hand, I'm going to grab onto this bizarre flesh that is in front of me.
Are you doing what I was going to do?
And casting Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
Thought you were going to do
that is going to be a crit, everybody. I'm loving you.
Oh,
loving that dice tower.
Let's go.
How are we doing this? Oh my God,
it's up to you. You can roll double the dice, or you can double whatever it shows.
Up the butthole.
So double the dice or double the damage? What'd you say?
Double, like you can double the amount of dice you roll for it, or you can roll the dice and double the amount of damage on the dice.
How about I roll 60-10 and see where it leads us?
Oh.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah,
You know, hey.
I always favor rolling more dice because more dice is fun, right?
All right, what is 17 plus 20?
37.
37.
37 points of damage. And with that, I am going to look to my Leonin friend and go, Bayor, now! As I cast and use my Voice of Authority, which allows him to make one melee attack.
Good. Okay, so my plan was to stab this thing with my spear and then use it as leverage to get on top of it. So can I just stab it so then I can...
I'll say you can use this action to stab it and then try to use your next turn to get on top of it.
We didn't even plan this, y'all. We didn't even plan this.
We're just
All
in
right.
sync like that.
All right. That is a 19, sir.
Oh, that'll hit, yeah.
All right. Okay. My guy. Beer. Oh, wait, that's D8, sorry. Not the D6. Oh, sorry, actually it would be the 6 because I'm using one hand. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 damage.
9 damage.
And I'm going to keep it in there for a second so I can climb on top of him.
Sounds good.
I'm not done yet, DM.
Okay.
My Voice of Authority isn't a bonus action or an action. I can just do that when I cast a spell. I would now like to use my bonus action with my spiritual weapon. Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to
Go
use
ahead
my
and make
questions
that
now,
attack.
DM.
Hit him
As
with
the two
math.
of you just carve into the abomination in front of you.
Hit it with math.
All right, that is going to be 14 plus 5. That's going to be a 19.
That'll hit.
More equations, but don't worry. Spiritual weapon never does that much damage.
It's true.
That's going to be 5 more damage.
All right.
A little bit of math to press into it.
Arguvar, you latch onto some of the flesh on the leg of this creature, and wherever you grab must have been a good spot because you see a large chunk of flesh just start to melt away and dissolve in your hand as this hole opens up on the side of the leg, eating down to the bone. Bayor, you stab deep into the chest of the creature as it reels back, planting your spear and giving yourself a lot of leverage as the math starts to swirl around Arguvar, striking again. Excellent turn, you guys.
Always got to fear the math. All right, Bayor, we're not going to be able to do that again, but hey. It was fun while it lasted.
We'll remember this moment.
We will, you and I. The weird odd couple.
Yeah.
So that brings us to Omega's turn. As you see, Omega runs forward and jumps onto this wagon. And as he does so, he leans out of the side of the wagon, and you see his staff begin to glow again. As a small bead of red energy streaks forward from the staff, striking the ground in between Bayor and Arguvar, and a explosion ignites in the air, unfortunately hitting the abomination as well. But I need you all to roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Well, now I'm mad at the guy.
Do you do the
Before I
wizard
was
thing?
kind of neutral. It's like, well, he hasn't done anything to me yet. But them's fighting words. It's also a 19 on the die. I don't know what my dex is yet. It's not an important skill for me. All right, my dex is a 1. So...
That is a 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to say out loud and in my mind while the explosion goes off to Bayor and to Celestina, he must die no matter what. No matter what.
I'm sorry, Bayor, what did you roll?
A 19 plus 1. I don't want to say the 2-0 word because that might jinx me later on.
You will save there, Bayor.
I won't.
For that nasty half damage.
Take half anyway. You're a bronze dragon.
Because I'm not a rogue.
Okay, so Arguvar, that is 27 damage in total. That is halved to 13 for Bayor and the Abomination.
Arguvar, did you roll that D4 with your saving throw? It might help.
I mean, that would make it an 11.
That unfortunately
at 4.
still does not make the
Yeah.
save.
At most, it makes it 11, which I'm pretty sure wouldn't make it.
It's fire damage, Bayor. Did you take another half off of that?
No.
So that would be 13 damage and not 27 damage.
Am I, what do you call that? Okay. Is that
I'm sorry, that's
thing?
Arguvar. Takes half because it's fire damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's I'm down.
You're still down?
Oh,
Okay. I didn't know that would help.
I got blown back, and I go, he must die no matter what.
You see, the rest of you see this beam of energy strike and this fireball ignite in the meadow as the abomination is reeling back. You see large chunks of its flesh have been blown away by the explosion, but it's holding on by a thread. As you see, Arguvar is tossed aside by the explosion and lands on the ground, unmoving for the moment. Bayor, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to do my jumpy jump. I'm going to try to get, with leverage from my spear, on top of the back of this thing. For my move,
Okay.
draw my greatsword, and then slice or stab down.
Okay, go ahead. Make a athletics check as you climb up this thing.
Plus the d4, 4, 12 plus 4 is 16, and then athletics is also plus 3, so 19.
19. Bayor, as you start to climb up it, you see it is trying to reach and claw and keep you off of it, but it is not doing well, and it is sluggish to react. And you're actually able to, as it swipes at you, you're able to use its shoulder to climb up and swing onto its back, drawing your greatsword, make your attack. And I'm going to say give me that attack at advantage since you're literally on its back.
Can't touch me. 11 or an 18. I'll keep the 18. Plus 5 is 23, sir.
Bayor, I'm not going to make you roll damage. It had 1 HP left. You drive your greatsword down in between the shoulder blades, severing the spine as you hear this creature and collapse onto the ground inches from Arguvar.
Yeah, I'm going to roll off of it and go over to Arguvar then, I guess. That's my trajectory.
Gotcha. Big G, you see the largest creature of this group collapse onto the ground. What are you doing?
Well, this is a moral dilemma right here. But as I see, one of my companions go down, I'm gonna think back to when Celestina and I helped my mentor in magic, teaching me some interesting spells. Can I see Omega?
You saw him from this perspective. Yeah, you can just see him in the opening of the wagon from where you are.
Okay, then I'm not gonna cast Magic Missile. That'd be stupid. That'd be silly. In fact, I'm gonna cast Jim's Magic Missile.
Okay.
Just you double it.
So I have to roll. I have to roll these magic missiles.
It's like a magic. What are those called? The big
bazooka.
Big bazookas. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did Big G get a predator drone?
Jim's magic missile.
Jim's magic missile. So I get 3 little, specifically, twisting, whistling, hypoallergenic, gluten-free darts of magical force pop out of my fingertips as I shoot them towards this man.
Hypoallergenic.
Make your
That's
3
a
attack
15
rolls.
for the first one.
15 will not hit.
Okay. That's an 8.
That does not hit.
Ooh, that's 24.
24 will hit.
Okay. So, it's a little bit more damage than typical, but either way. Oh, never mind. He takes 2 points of force damage.
Okay.
Oh god.
That's right, you take those 2 points of force damage.
I am going, you know what? After that, I am going to get closer to the group. Just,
Okay.
Getting closer to Rylin.
All right, Big G, launching this attack. You see it heading straight for the wagon, and then at the last second, it veers up and around and then darts in. You actually hear a little oof from inside the wagon as you dart over closer to Rylin and Celestina, whose turn it is. Celestina.
All right, I've got a question. Can I get into the cart from the front here?
So you do not. Yes, you would be able to. There would be an entrance into the cart that you could clamber up into.
Okay, then here's going to be the plan. I'm going to run over here to the entrance. I'm going to have my war pick out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in there, slam the war pick into Omega's side from the back, and try to push him out of the cart. Basically, all my attacks are going to be there, trying to just do enough damage or hit him hard enough to just knock him out of the cart itself.
Okay. You can do that. Yeah, I think there are like bull rushing rules if you want to just try to straight up like push him.
No, we need him. I'm
cart.
okay with his body falling out of the cart. Like,
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead and move yourself there and roll that attack then, Celestina.
Right.
As you dart around this crystal, you scamper up into the wagon, throwing your legs over the small like driver's entrance to the wagon. As you land, you see there are a lot of barrels. The whole back of this wagon is full of barrels, except for Omega, who is just like landed back and slammed into some barrels from the impact of this magic missile.
okay, because I rolled a 6 plus the 1 from Rylin, so 7, so 14. Would that hit?
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, then what I'm going to do is trying to conserve the momentum of it. Would I be able to slam the war pick into the ground, try to slide and get to the point where I'm a little bit underneath the cart, and using both my unarmed attack with Flurry of Blows, try to break the axle of this cart? Could I try to basically just swing, kick, and break the axle so it cannot roll away?
So at the moment, you are up inside the wagon itself.
I have 40 feet of movement, so I would
Okay.
still have another 10 feet to get to the front, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to, you can use the rest of your movement to get back out of the wagon and make your flurry of blows against the axle.
Yeah, I'm going to try to just break it so that way the cart cannot get away with it or any of the supplies that are inside of it.
Sure. And I'm going to say our Omega landing on these barrels, not expecting you to come up from behind him, is not in the position to really get an opportunity attack as you rush out past him.
Okay. Then the first hit is going to be a 23 to the axle.
That'll hit.
And the second one is going to be a 5 plus a 12 to hit the axle.
17.
Yeah, that'll hit an axle.
Yeah, 12 total. So that's going to be...
Oh.
That was cocked. That's going to be 6 plus 9, so 15 bludgeoning damage to the axle to see if I could just break it so this cart can't roll away.
Okay.
We are pissing off a mage, and I know that that's going to end so well for us.
And I'd also be like right in front of the cart, so I'm definitely not in the best.
Must die.
I'm definitely not in the best position with all these big dudes, but.
By the way, even though I do play wizards, I am always of the opinion that every mage must die. Always. They're always trouble.
Yeah,
mage.
Celestina, you slam into the wood here, and you can see it start to splinter, but these wagons are very heavy, sturdy wagons reinforced with steel bands wherever they can be. And as you get very close to these wagons, Celestina, there's something that's very familiar about these to you. These are wagons that you have seen before. These are the same types of wagons that accompany the Mirenfeld. And with that, it brings us to the grafter's turn as the abomination is dead. This grafter here, the front one, is going to take a step forward, seeing Big G and Rylin in front of it. You see it rear its head back and cast this acid breath that shoots out in a cone from its mouth. I need you both to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Sorry, I missed that. Who's doing that?
That is Big G and Rylin.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Neither of you are blessed, right?
Nope. 15.
Oh, I'm good. I have great dexterity.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
23.
I'm also resistant to acid, so.
Okay. You both succeed and both pass. That is 15 damage total, halved to 7, halved further to 3 for Rylin. As you are both able to dodge and move out of the way of the most of it, and just some of it landing on your gear, and you can feel it starting to eat into your flesh. The second grafter behind it turns now and is going to focus its attention on you, Celestina, seeing you go for its wagon here. It is going to bring down a heavy claw attack on you first. That is a natural one. And then follow up with a swing from its great club. That is a 16, so that is not going to hit you. Able to quickly dodge out of the way of these two lumbering attacks. Unfortunately, the two others behind you, you see Celestina, the one of them come up towards you. It's actually going to make a grapple attempt on you.
Sure, can try. So I roll acrobatics?
Yeah, your choice of acrobatics or athletics.
I'll do acrobatics. That's going to be a 10 because I rolled a 2 on the die and a 1 on the d4.
It got a 14.
I'm grappled.
So it wraps these two large arms around you, and you feel the scales of the one start to bite into you. It's going to use the rest of its movement to drag you back and away from the wagon with it, Celestina.
Gotcha.
As the other one, in the meantime, you see grab the last of its barrels, load it onto the cart, and immediately start moving to the front of the cart now. That's it for the grafter's turn. We are back to Rylin.
I was doing some measuring. Sorry.
You're good.
All right. Okay. Alrighty. So Rylin is going to move. Oh God, you just made this harder. And is going to move kind of right where this pillar is. To like right around here. And you see as she is running up to where that stone and rock is taking her staff and whirling it around her head, and she's going to stab it into the ground and cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain I just moved to a point where it won't hit Celestina, but will hit everyone else. It is a 15-foot cube. Which, let me go back to show to others. So I move here, the cube. Oh, it misses that one. So there.
But hit the cart.
It would hit the cart. Hit Omega and the cart.
Oh yeah, and then it would definitely
hit those two grafters. Yeah.
Yes, it would hit the two grafters and Omega, but would miss the one and definitely hit the cart.
Yeah, you're just out of the range of Big G as well.
That was the measuring I was doing.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, then you're cool, awesome. Go for it then.
All right, so Constitution saving throw from them for
Okay.
Thunder Wave. 15.
That's a fail. That's a fail. These guys are rolling terribly
bring this
tonight.
up, but
All 3 of the grafters fail.
Okay, great. On a failed save, they are pushed 10 feet away from me and take 2d8.
Oh, jeez.
So let me find my d8s that I want to use for this. Okay. Oh god, these dice are lovely. That was a 7 and an 8 on the die. So that is a total of 15 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
And that was my action and move. Do I have anything cool I can do as bonus action? No, and Chalet is still up. That is what I have going for me. Let me see if this is.
Oh, I didn't roll for
Good luck.
I'm sorry.
Good luck figuring out the Constitution save on a cart. I tried.
Oh, actually, I do have a bonus action. As a bonus action, I'm going to use Balm of the Summer Court, and you see as my fairy pixie creature goes up to Arguvar and heals him.
Okay.
I'm going to use two charges of that for a total of 11 points of healing. And you get 2 temporary hit points as well. So 11 regular hit points and 2 temp.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, Rylin, charging forward, slamming your staff into the ground, this wave of thunder crashing out. You see the force wave slam into the cart, and the whole cart go rocking sideways for a second. All of the grafters go flying away from you, and you see Omega as well come stumbling out and falling face first into the dirt behind the cart. Arguvar, freshly healed from Rylin and stabilized, it is your turn.
I'm up. Oh, wow. Fantastic. Then I am going to see quickly. This down tree I'd have to maneuver, I'm assuming. And there's a rafter here. Okay, I'm going to move, kind of immediately getting up, jumping the tree like a badass, getting here, and then I would like to angle my thunder wave so I can only basically hit these idiots. So from that cube there, I can angle it so I should be able to only hit this grafter and Omega and not Celestina. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Sweet.
I'm going to get up immediately, clap my hands together, and make sure that thunder is happening. Roll, sons. Oh, that also hits the cart, too.
It would, yes. So the grafter got a 12. Omega rolled a 19 on the die, 21.
All right, well, Omega passes, and that means the grafter fails. Let us roll dice. That is going to be 12 points of damage for the grafter, and I believe halved for the monster known as Omega. And then I would like to issue a direct challenge to Omega using a persuasion roll, if I may.
Sure.
Come out and fight me. Fight me. Put your minions away and face me. Kill me if you must. But someone will walk out of here dead, whether it's you or me. All right, that is a solid 13.
Okay.
I have no idea if that was persuasive or not, but it's a challenge. To his honor.
You see Omega as the grafter as the thunderwave hits, you see Omega like duck down. The grafter actually tumbles over Omega and slams into the cart, keeping itself upright. You see Omega glare at you with this intense look in his eyes, and he goes, "I have more important things to deal with than your kind, Arguvar. You will die another day." As it is his turn, he... Go into my spells here.
Spells.
30 foot. Okay. Let me get my cone. See who this is going to hit here.
Oh, I'm also going to look back to everyone. Kill him! Just like,
Kill him now!
Murder
Okay, so
him!
this will hit Rylin and Arguvar. I need both of you to make me a wisdom saving throw. As he slams his staff into the ground, and you see these dark shadows slither out of its mouth and down and across the ground towards you.
Well, DM, that's a 5.
Rylin?
You're muted.
I was breathing deeply. That is a 26.
Okay, Rylin, you are fine. As you feel this cold shiver creep into your body, and then your resolve and your will forces it out of your head. Arguvar, as these shadows move towards the ground, your head is filled with images. It's filled with a forest on fire, the screams of the people that you knew and loved and grew up with as they were slaughtered by this man, and you are filled with terror. You are frightened for the duration of this spell. And on your turn, you must use the dash action to get away as far as you can from Omega. Drop everything you're doing. Yada, yada, yada. That brings us to... Oh, and you see after he immediately turns and crawls back into the wagon here. That brings us to Bayor.
Is he crawling back into the wagon, you said?
Yeah, you see him scamper up and disappear into the wagon again.
Okay. And I see my buddy Arguvar running away.
Yeah, not yet. You see him just sort of paralyzed in fear at this moment.
Okay. Don't have any auras yet, or else, I just walk over to you. I'm gonna pick up my spear and pluck it at the cart, because I have an ensnaring strike on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, go ahead and roll that attack.
Okay, that's a 15.
Yep, a 15's gonna hit.
Well, I'm gonna roll that. 4 plus 3, 7 damage. And
7,
then
okay.
ensnaring strike is massive thorny vines appear on the point of impact. The target, I'm guessing the cart, must make a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical vines until the spell ends. A large or larger creature has advantage on this throw. I guess a cart is large. I don't know.
I'm going to... So the cart isn't trying to move from the vines. It's not really going to be making any attempt on its own. It'll be, if anything, tries to move the cart, it'll make that save. So I'm going to roll that.
The cart takes an additional d6 from the vines piercing it. If it has any kind of restrictions, protection against piercing, it's 5 piercing.
Okay.
From the thorns
Gotcha. Yeah, Bayor, you see the spear landing deep into one of the spokes of the wheels, and you see these vines wrap over and completely grow up over this wheel and start to move down the axle as well. Definitely rooting it and making it more difficult to move from that spot.
And I say, you cannot run from your judgment, creature.
Awesome. Big G.
I'm gonna look towards Bayor, and I go, Bayor, should we? I need help. I need some guidance. We stopping the cart? Are we delaying the people? Well.
So those large creatures, their intention, I'm guessing, was to run with this cart. Can I get a battle assessment roll? I don't even know what to roll for that.
Yeah, give me an insight. It's just saying your ability to keep track of everything in the battle.
That was a 17, and then my insights. Yeah, that's one of my class skills, +4. So 17 is 21.
So Bayor, there's very clearly two of them that have been engaging in combat as little as possible and have been loading up these wagons in an attempt to get out of here. There now, I know there's still barrels on the map here. I couldn't get rid of them, but there are no more barrels stacked up here. They've all been loaded onto the wagons.
Do we all have mental connections, or do I just have it with Celestina?
Oh, I'm yelling.
The only person who has the mental connection is Arguvar. I can only be with one person.
I'm
just yelling across because you're the closest person to me.
Would that also mean that Celestina knows that I'm terrified right now?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Okay. Then Bayor looks at Big G. We have to at least find out what's in these barrels, but keep yourself safe. And I motion towards the grafters.
It's fine. I'll try to stop the cart. I'm gonna move up closer. Just need to do some measuring. Oh, you know what? I don't even need to get closer. I'm within range. I'm gonna cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. The giant soil hand pops out of the ground, and I'm just gonna try to grab onto one of the wheels and crush it.
Okay. Go ahead. Is that an attack roll with Maximilian's Grasp?
It is a strength saving throw. So, I don't know how you...
All right.
So I guess when something tries to move it, our vines and...
What's the save?
It's a strength saving throw. It's a 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, I guess we will... So the hand, you bring it up and you the other wheel on this side of the wagon here is now covered in this thick rock-like hand that has grabbed it, making it even more difficult for anyone to move it.
It is technically restrained, is what the spell says, and it also takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, give me that attack.
This guy's got
7.
Scroll of Teleport or something. I'm gonna punch him so hard.
Okay.
And you know what? I am also at the end going to move closer. I'm just gonna move up right next to Rylin.
Cool. Yeah, Big G, you see this cart now definitely starting to take some serious sustained damage from the attacks that you all are launching on it. Celestina, it is your turn, still being grappled here by this large grafter behind you.
As my action, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use acrobatics to get out of the grapple.
Okay.
That is going to be a 15.
That is a 16 for the grafter. Celestina, you just barely you throwing elbows and punches back at it, trying to loosen its grip. You land one in its ribs and you feel it open its grip for a second. You try to push out, but you feel this large claw just grab onto your chest and pull you back in, not able to quite escape from it.
Do we still have Bless?
I added Bless.
Yeah,
I rolled a 4 and a 4 on the D4 and the D20.
Oh.
Plus a 7. Then let me see if there's anything I can do as a bonus action. There isn't anything that I'd be able to do as a bonus action, but I guess mentally, as I'm being restrained, Arguvar, since I kind of understand like Arguvar's like fear a little bit, would I be able to try to like settle his fear by saying, like, in his mind, like through all of this, he hears "Don't worry, we're going to stop him," to try to like ease it or maybe give him advantage on the wisdom save or anything?
Make me a persuasion check.
Cool, 16.
Cool. Arguvar, you in the middle of this fear, as you're trying to decide what to do next, you hear this voice of your companion reach out and bring you back into your present. You're going to have advantage on your next roll to break this fright. Okay. Celestina, that brings us to the grafters. So you see these two grafters here. This one moving over and grabbing one end of the cart. This one coming up and grabbing the other end. It is the moment of truth here as they make these strength saving throws. What are both of your DCs independently?
14.
14.
Both of us are 14.
Basically, it's got disadvantage.
Okay, they rolled a 15 and a 19 on the dice. And they've got pretty good strength saving throws. So both of them, you see, lift up these two ends of the cart, and they start to pull it forward, and there's a moment of tension, and you see the vines first start to rip and tear from each other, and then they snap, and as they snap, the cart lurches forward. It moves up and over the rock. You can see the two wheels. Several of the spokes have been crushed. There's a portion of the front wheel with the rock and earthen grasp that is broken and is kind of wobbling. The cart is not holding up well, but the two of them use the rest of their turn and take this cart, moving it deeper into the woods, and are going to move off of the map here. The one holding you, Celestina, is going to make 2 attacks on you.
Try.
It's probably going to fail. Yeah, it's going to fail both of those attacks as it tries to keep its hold on you. Trying to just hammer down with this large claw, but you're able to dodge and block some of the blows as they rain down on you. The other grafter here is going to stand up and now fairly pissed off at Rylin. Is going to turn over to you two and come with an attack here. The claws coming towards you, Rylin. That is a 11 to hit.
Yes.
And followed up by the Great Club. I cannot roll for anything. That's an 8 to hit. Rylin, you see this Great Club come down and crash. You brace for impact as it's coming right above your head, but you hear this as you look up and feel this dust sort of landing, and the Great Club has embedded itself in this crystal that you are backed up against. That is all for the grafters. That brings us to your turn, Rylin.
Great. How far off the map have they moved?
So they both had their dash action available, so they are...
Did they? Because they had to break the vines and the Maximilian Earthen Grasp.
So, yeah, they would have used... Is that a whole action to break those? It is. So yeah, they wouldn't have quite moved off. Thank you for reminding me of that. They wouldn't have quite moved off the map. They would have sort of lurched forward 5 feet or so from here.
I understand why players like doing that. Oh my god, that's amazing.
The best.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna... Same thing, different page. Rylin is going to... She's going to take the possible opportunity attack against her and move closer to where they've lurched forward.
Okay.
To make sure that the cart Omega, and actually, she's going to move to a point where she can hit all 3 grafters and Omega in this cube.
And the cart.
And, of course, the cart.
Yeah.
It ain't over for this cart, y'all.
I'll rip this cart.
So,
Fuck this cart.
I'm carving my name in this cart.
It's a tree. It's a cart. We hate wood.
I can't wait for your caravan BBEG cart. It's gonna be awesome.
If Groot was in
you're
this campaign,
just gonna hit all 4 or 5 of them in the
Great.
border.
she's ramping this up to level 2. So, same Constitution saving throw, 15.
Okay. The attack of opportunity on you first. That is going to be a 19 to hit. So that is
does
going to
hit.
hit you.
if Groot was in this campaign, he'd already be dead. Already be dead. He'd be like, we have an aversion to wood. Sorry.
So that is 10 slashing damage as this claw rakes down across your back as you turn to run, plus an additional 2 poison damage as you feel this sting start to enter your body through this wound that it's left.
Great. So I have to roll above a 10 for concentration. I rolled a 19 on the die. So
Cool.
we're good for Bless still beating up.
Then cool. Go with Thunderwave. We got some Constitution rolls. All right. Grafters first. That's a fail. What's the DC?
15.
Okay, 1 success. 2 successes. Mega fails.
Good.
Okay.
How's the cart
roll
do?
damage on that.
How did the cart roll?
Yeah, with the cart roll.
The cart. The cart also failed.
Yes.
It's Constitution.
Nice.
That means
Does
the
it
cart gets
flip?
pushed back 10 feet.
Yeah, does it flip? That's what we want to know.
So that's a total of 15 thunder damage. Anyone who failed is pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
see this one is pushed back pretty much to the same point that it started at. The other 2 grafters are the ones who made their saves, so they're gonna take the damage.
It's half damage if you succeed.
Okay.
Let me double check this one.
Okay. Omega. So you hear, you see again the cart being rocked heavily on its side. It lands, and as it lands, you hear a loud crack as something underneath is starting to give way here. You hear. Or you see underneath the cart now, there is a thick red liquid that is seeping from inside the cart as whatever is in these barrels has been spilt and has started to leak out.
The cart's bleeding. The cart is bleeding.
Rylin, are you doing anything else with your turn?
That is all for now. I'm gonna
Okay.
hold on to that bonus.
Arguvar.
Got that advantage, baby.
I'm trying to figure reading here if you have to make it at the beginning or end of your turn.
Oh wait, he was the guy who Omega was hit by the Thunderwave, right?
He was, yes.
Would he have to make a con save to keep the concentration on cause fear?
It is. You are correct.
Oh, and when
He did
flies
make
through
that.
10 feet through
Unfortunately.
the cart,
What'd you say?
would he fly 10 feet through the cart?
Well, he landed. The cart actually
Oh.
has wooden sides to it, so he
Right,
definitely
right.
got tossed up against the
Okay.
corner of this cart.
As long as I know he's hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, so Arguvar, you have to use this turn to move as far away from Omega as you can, or at least out of sight.
Got it.
He is still visible to you in the wagon here, but you don't have to move very far to get out of line of sight.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get out of sight, which is, I don't know, here-ish, right? Yes.
Yeah, that would be out of sight.
Okay. I don't. All right. I'm going to, get cuddly up to this guy. And then I'm rolling for the fear, I assume.
Yes. So paralyzed by fear.
Is that a saving throw?
Yes, it is another wisdom saving throw. This one at advantage with Celestina's help here.
Okay, so that
Advantage
is
and a D4.
And a D4, so that's 27.
That'll hit.
Oh wait,
Arguvar
no, that's
diving,
3, and then I need to add. Yeah, I keep thinking
diving
add
over
4,
this
not D4.
tree, and just getting out of sight of Omega for a second. That's all you need. You feel the fear calm down in your body again as you look up and see a grafter just looming above you as he sees that you're just have launched over this tree just right up to as it turns to you now and as it looks down menacingly. That brings us to Omega's turn. You hear from inside the cart he yelled, run you fools, as he leans out. Oh god. And you see a familiar bead of red streak out and impact the ground. Actually, Big G, it lands all the way behind you. It flies past Arguvar, Rylin, and Big G, all of your heads, as it lands in the ground behind you, and another explosion ignites through the air. I need the 3 of you, as well as this grafter, to make a saving throw. Next saving throw.
That grafter's getting slapped.
Ooh. Dex?
DM.
Yes.
I learned
You have
that
your D4s.
I hate. Oh, and D4. I need my D4. Where's my D4? Oh, that's a 1. Okay, that's a 7. DM.
Okay.
I'm a little bit done with these deck saves. if
I'm
being honest.
sorry, Arguvar, you did worse than me. I got a 9.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
18?
18 will succeed, Rylin.
You're a red
At least
kobold.
I'm
You'll probably
immune to
resist the
fire
damage, right?
damage.
What?
I'm resistant to it.
That
I'm
helps.
resistant to fire That helps. It
I'm
helps.
red.
Yeah,
You
I think he's
are.
red.
It's close enough. You might be a cousin.
Paint yourself red
You
and
guys
you're
could
immune to
be
fire.
related.
Just
You
turn
and
cousin.
Kroll,
Yeah.
you and Kroll Omega could absolutely be cousins.
It's just a long
Um,
distance relation. Third cousin, twice removed.
Grandpa.
That is 28 fire damage. Halved to 14 for
14.
Rylin and Arguvar.
Can I have that further by using the absorb elements reaction?
Sure.
Oh, did Big G
The
go down?
spell.
All right, who's out?
Big G just went down.
Big G.
Okay.
I got down.
Let
I'm
me
down.
see.
I got blown back.
You
We
said
both-
28, right?
28, yes.
Yeah.
I have a question
That's more
because
than
I've
my
never done
max
it
HP.
before. If I am next to 2 people that are down and I have lay on hands, can I just on both of them since they're both within touching range? I have never had that happen in a game before.
I'll say yes, and we'll figure out exactly
Okay.
how that works. But I'll
Hey,
say
let's
yeah, why
kill
not?
Omega.
Because I know that we can't do the drive-by tap, but we can do. Okay.
Yeah.
Murder Omega with your big lion.
So the
mane,
3 of
please.
you, Big G and Arguvar down to the side. This grafter here to Bayor, you see the whole front of its body is now charred and blackened, but it is wobbling but still standing here. Rylin, are you still up?
If I am able to reduce that further with absorb elements. So it just
One
makes me
reaction?
resistant.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm going to reduce that and gain that absorption to
Okay.
resist down to 7 instead of 14. which I'll
right.
still be up for.
Rylin able to, at the last second, calling your attention, feeling the heat hit you, and just instinctively switching over and trying to absorb as much of this fire energy as you can to protect yourself. Arguvar and Big G, unfortunately, not so lucky as you've gone down to this fire bowl. As Omega is leaning out and laughing at this point in time and going, "I told you, Arguvar! I told you would die here, you fool!" As that brings us to Bayor.
You're muted.
You're muted. You silly goose. You silly goose. The silliest
It's
of
good.
geese.
It's good because my kids were brushing their teeth and being like, anyway, I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'm gonna move over here. Boink.
I really thought you were about to reveal that your children brush their
is
teeth
the-
insanely loudly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the grafter still?
So yeah,
up?
Bayor, I'm gonna say there's really no reason if you're within touch range of two people that you couldn't. I don't see why not. You are gonna use double the amount of hit points from your pool though.
Yeah, I'm gonna use all of it. So 10 and 10 is what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay. Yeah, Bayor rushing forward past this grafter, ducking under a clumsy blow that it tosses your way. You do a power slide on your knees and land next to Big G and Arguvar, healing both of them with these warm hands. Big G and Arguvar sort of being tossed down to the ground before you really have time to figure out your situation in unconscious. Next, a breath enters your lungs again, and you see Bayor, his furry body hovering above you, these big paws on both of your chests as you're brought back to life in this moment.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to use my Daunting Roar, so DC 13 Wisdom save for anyone in the area, or become frightened.
Okay, what's the
just so
radius on that?
Just so that he knows that even if he gets away, I'm coming for him. Where's my Daunting
Oh, and how
Roar?
many hit points do we get for the 10? Okay. Thank you.
Wait,
So
Okay,
make it
so
10.
it's
Kill him.
10, anyone within 10 feet of me, so I guess the guy right behind me. The grafter behind me can make the save, and then...
Does that
That's
include
me.
natural. I
Arguvar
used a
and
different
us?
dice and I still got a nat 1. Yeah, he's afraid. He's afraid.
And then I guess the other guys, they just hear it. They just know I roared. Roar.
Does that include
Rawr.
Argivar and me too?
No, it is,
No?
no, it's
It's a comforting
enemies,
roar to us. We wake up to
enemies
like,
in the area.
Stretch.
Yeah,
Good job,
creatures
Big
of my
G,
choice.
healing some of your allies there. That brings us to Bayor. I'm sorry. That brings us to Big G.
Oh, perfect. So the car is still there, right?
It is, yes.
Well. This guy
not
likes
moved
fire.
an
Let's
inch.
I'm gonna show him what real fire is all about. Okay.
Light it on
Bada bing,
fire.
bada boom. I can't light it on fire, sadly. I can do it for like 2 seconds. But I'm gonna place a pyrotechnics little flame at the front of the cart that pew, 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 and starts going off and explodes. I need them all to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay. What is the
14.
save? 14?
14.
We got 2 successes and a failure from one grafter.
The one grafter is blinded until the end of my next turn.
Okay. These shoots and sparks of light going off in these grafters' faces. You see the one close to you catches a spark directly into its eye and closes its eye and drops the cart. The other one elbows it, and it does pick up the cart again, but with one hand, as it's not able to really see with the other one.
You done blinded the headlights.
I'm gonna look at Arguvar and go, we need to stop this cart, right?
we need to kill Omega, who's in the cart.
Okay. I'm gonna run in front of the grafters.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stand there and mean mug the one that can see me.
God.
Okay.
Mercy God.
Oh God, it's.
Have you done?
You know what? I think it's time. I'm gonna gingerly walk up, looking at this grafter. I'm gonna pull out my 1.5-foot long cigar. It's a good day to die. And I'm just gonna look at him, stare him down, sit in the way of this cart.
Okay. All hear you say it's a good day to die.
Big G, as you make your stand in front of these two grafters, each of them standing like 10 to 12 feet tall, just looming over you, lighting your cigar defiantly. That brings us to Celestina's turn.
All right. Seeing Big G do this, seeing that Big G is absolutely going to get himself killed if something doesn't happen, I'm going to try to do another acrobatics check to get out of this grapple.
Get out of this grapple.
All right. That is going to be a 26.
You're free, Celestina.
All right. Then that was my action. As what's going to happen is as he's grabbing me, I'm going to flip, putting my feet on his chest, and as a bonus action, I'm going to use a key point to do which one is this one called? Give me one moment. Step of the Wind, which lets me take the disengage action as a bonus action and doubles my jump distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off from the grapple, basically flip, kick off of this grafter's chest, and land in the back of the cart with Omega.
Yes.
I can't attack or do anything, but I'm basically going to I'm just going to get behind him, and I'm just going to say, I see what you did to my friends, and let me tell you, I'm not a big fan, as I just kind of lower my war peg and just look at him.
And you see he rears his head around and stares at you in your eyes, Celestina, and just breathes heavily at you. It is the grafter's turn. Big G, I'm going to need you to make a strength check.
You got this, Big G.
You have a D4. No, you don't. Never mind.
Kobolds and wizards are known for strength.
I just want to give it to you. I want to help you.
Strength check or strength save?
Just a strength versus strength check.
Okay.
Your muscles versus his muscles.
He's gonna get Spartan
dirty 20
into the woods.
Ooh.
Oh.
I need you to make another strength check because they also got a dirty 20.
Ooh.
I love that.
I think I can.
A 15.
Ooh.
Oh, no fucking. No way. No way.
It's a good way to die.
Let's go.
You guys are evenly matched.
19.
Let's go, Big G.
No,
Big G, 19.
Yeah.
So, the grafters, it's meant to be. It's 3 tied rolls in a row. Are you joking? So,
Kurt,
the grafters,
I've been through arm wrestling all my life. I know how to deal with these people.
Big G, you're able to. This is a tough. You're a small dude going up against a large.
What were they trying to do? Kick him
3 times in a row, dude.
They were trying to like just barrel over him, just run straight through him.
No.
So,
oh my god,
you're making a fool of yourself. Hold on, let's just.
Can you just cigarette burn them on the bottom of the foot?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Big G, as they are stepping down, you raise your cigar. Burn it in the heel, right in the sole of its foot. The one grafter that's been blinded now as well drops its end of the cart. The cart comes crashing down. As it comes crashing down, that's going to be it. As it comes crashing down, you see the 2 wheels crack and it lands hard. As the Celestina inside the cart, you and Omega are tossed to the one side. Celestina, you are coated in this thick, dark red liquid that is leaking out of the barrels, and you see Omega look around, this fear and this almost panic setting into his eyes.
I've got a quick question. I have
Yeah.
proficiency in medicine. Would I be able to tell if this is blood?
This
Like,
is
if they
100% blood. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I figured they harvested dragon blood. I'm like, oh
Dragon
god.
blood. Dragon blood. As long as it's not like people that have been turned into a pulp from all these thunder waves, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
This grafter here is going to make his way to the cart because he still thinks that we're moving and is gonna like start
Drag
to
it.
climb up into the cart after Celestina. This grafter here, looking down at Arguvar and Bayor, is going to make an attack against each of you. That's a 2. That's a 2.
Yay.
A claw and a great claw. I need to retire every dice I'm using tonight.
Oh, yeah.
The claw and a great club smashing down to either side of you. You both roll inwards towards each other a little bit. You're now back to back on the ground, kind of sandwiched in between both of the limbs of this grafter. As Arguvar, that brings us to your turn again.
I am going to run kind of away from the grafter, giving them an attack of opportunity if they would like to try to smack me again.
He's dumb enough to not save. Hold on to that. That is a 15 to hit, so I don't think that hits.
That'll miss!
That'll
Suck
miss.
It. Suck it, nerd. I'm going to get here, and then I'm going to do what Dragonborns are supposed to do. I'm going to fire breath that guy and Omega and everything in that cart, whatever cart is left.
You are probably going to hit
Celestina,
Celestina too in there.
I'm good.
out the
I'm
way.
fine.
Get out
But
the
okay,
way.
go for it.
All right, they are going to have to make. I'm pretty sure it's a dex save.
Is that a 30-foot cone, Arguvar?
I believe so.
I have a nifty 30-foot cone already made up here. I'm gonna
11. Yeah, I'm gonna retire these dice too.
Yeah, 30-foot cone, fire. Are we using? Here's a question.
Oh,
Guys,
so that's
I know-
I'm gonna hit Rylin as well from where you're standing.
Oh.
If you
Damn, I'm gonna-
move like
Please
10 feet
reorient.
further, you'd probably miss her.
10 foot closer, like here.
10 foot north.
Oh, this way. Yeah, I'll try to angle it.
Okay, yeah,
Is that-
yeah, you'd be
Okay.
good.
Kind of inch one way. Quick question. So are
Yes.
we using Dragonborn from kind of Player's Handbook, or are we using it from Fizbin's? The only reason why I ask is before on D&D Beyond I was using Player's Handbook. I know now the Dragon Breath I think is 2d10 instead of 2d6. I'm forgetting which is which.
Let me check. But we
Yeah,
can use
please
we can
do.
use either. If it's more
Okay.
damage in Fizbin's, we can increase it.
That's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah, why not? That's more fun.
And while we're waiting, this and every stream brought to you by whoever it's brought us by.
Brought to you by Dumpstat. Dumpstat Podcast. Patreon.com/Dumpstat Podcast.
us.
Come on.
I'm charming.
It is 1d10. When you reach 5th level, it becomes 2d10. And it
Okay,
increases
1d10.
based on level.
That works. I'm going to roll a.
Yeah, I
Or
definitely feel like I'm
woodworking,
11.
that's who it is.
All right, let them roll dex.
What's the save here?
The save is going to be a 13.
A 13. We got a success and a success here.
I'm the only one that failed, baby.
Yeah!
Give me with that damage.
Welcome.
That's going to be 9 points of fire damage, everybody.
9
I'll
points.
take it.
After here.
We need to fuck up Big G's grandpa.
But how'd the
We need to
cart
do
do?
it.
The cart
And
is
his-
now on fire here. There are several barrels that have caught fire as well. The Grafter and Omega are able to avoid the worst of the damage from the flame breath here.
This is
But
going
are
to make the
still
best
singed.
blood pudding.
Oh yeah.
Arguvar, is that it for your turn?
Actually, wait a minute. Can I do anything else? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna cast Spiritual Weapon just to get a little bit more damage in.
Slap him with some math. Slap him with
Yeah,
math.
Do some math again. Why not? Do I actually have that's? Oh, I do have a slot for that. Lovely. Yes, I would like to hit them with some math, please. Please and thank you, DM.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that now. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
Who are you targeting? Omega here?
I was actually going to target, Omega.
Omega? That does not hit.
Okay, random math that way.
You shoot math of your spiritual weapon. It cruises into the wagon, unfortunately not connecting with Omega. As you see Omega now just sort of watching his cart start to burn. Celestina, you right behind him. He turns now as the math goes flying towards his head as he looks at Arguvar as he goes, "No! This is not how it was supposed to go. You've ruined everything."
What were you trying to do, Omega?
The Sundering Paradox is real, Arguvar. It is the only truth.
You will not be the only one.
Oh, not yet. And you see, he slams his staff on the ground. And there is a purple door that rises up in front of him, and it washes over in a circle around his body. And as it does so, his form completely disappears until it's just this two-dimensional door that sinks back into the ground. And there is no sign of Omega here anymore as he is teleported out.
Have no reactions to slap him, so sadly I watch him go.
I can't stop a teleport, unfortunately.
However, he's a major threat that is no longer on the battlefield here. As Bayor, it is your turn.
What do the rest of these things do? Are they responding to the fact that this thing is gone? That their maybe master thing that's been telling them what to do is gone?
They don't seem to have realized it yet.
Okay. Well, they're an abomination to me, so I'm gonna mess them up. Since this one's been trying to swing at me anyway. I'm gonna pull out my greatsword since my spear is currently lodged in the cart.
Okay.
And doing my divine smite on this bad boy.
Okay. Roll the attack.
That is a 17.
That'll hit. Yes.
Okay. And then I'll do Searing Smite as well.
Okay.
So it's 3d6 and a d8 in there. That's 10. 17 points of damage.
Oh,
some of
boy.
it fire.
Yeah.
That would be-
Arguvar, Bayor.
It'd be 5 points of fire.
Launch your greatsword up and sink it into the chest of this grafter. Flame wreathes around your blade and shoots up, and you see it go into the wound and burn on the inside of this grafter as it shakes a little bit and then falls backwards off of your blade, dead onto the ground.
And I turn back and look at the car. Where did he go?
He vanished.
Big G,
Then I'm gonna
that
run
brings
towards-
us...
I
I'm
have
sorry.
not taken my move.
I'm sorry, I did not
big,
realize.
You silly
I'm gonna run
goose.
towards this one then. I'm not gonna do anything, but just being a mad lion. Like, fine. I'll take them all out.
Excellent. Now, Big G.
How are
Jump
these
the gun.
guys looking?
Largely not good. They have all taken a good chunk of damage throughout this encounter.
You know what? Once again, I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna look at the one that's looking a little rougher, that next to me.
Sure, yeah, the blinded one
Yeah.
that you burnt the heel on, or the sole of his foot.
I take a puff of my cigar. Whew. Reload over my finger guns. and cast another Jim's magic missile towards him.
Okay.
Block him
Go
in the
ahead, roll
chin.
your attacks on him.
Jim.
If he's
Do you have
blind,
a
you can
cantrip?
advantage.
He's not
Do you-
he's not blinded anymore. It was only till the end of my last turn.
Do you have a cantrip to do like random sounds?
Yeah, minor illusion.
I really like if you hit just every time, just little bells beep, just go off.
It's like when
Block
you're
him
at
in
the
the bell.
fair and you have
Yeah.
the work gun, yeah. Oh, well, I'll take that as my first roll, I guess. Okay, that'd be 19.
That'll hit.
Okay. That'll be a 17,
That'll hit.
and then another 17
Those will all hit.
for a total of 6d4 damage.
A lot of damage.
Jim's magic missile. It's pretty good.
I mean, 64 damage is a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just straight up.
That's a full stack of damage.
Oh, but that's a lot of ones. Oh, God. Ugh. It's 8 damage.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Big G, that's enough. These guys have been tossed around pretty hard by Rylin here.
Oh, nice.
Big G, you lift your wand, shoot the magic missiles. All 3 of them slam into the creature's chest as you see it stumble backwards. It actually lands in like a seating position on the driver's seat of the wagon.
I'm gonna take my cigar, take a puff of it, and look at the other one and go, well, you see what I can do to your friend here. You don't even want to know what my buddy Rylin can do to you. You might want to just sit down and let's have a chat.
Go ahead, give me a persuasion check.
Ooh. Not intimidation?
Are these things as
Well, okay, go,
disgusting?
yeah, if you want intimidation, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Are these things disgusting masses like the one that we killed in the first part? Yeah,
Yes, they
pretty
are
much.
distinctly more like humanoid in appearance, but they are definitely weird amalgamations of human and dragon flesh.
It's a 12.
Okay.
12. That is enough, Big G. As it starts to like look around and look nervously, it looks over at Rylin. Rylin, it makes eye contact. You just wave a little bit as it looks back at Big G on the ground.
I just like push down my sunglasses, give him a
It does not
there.
stop to parlay. It does, however, take off into the swamp, running away from you.
That's fine.
Would I be able to get... No, I wouldn't too far away inside the cart.
That one is gonzo.
I'm fine.
This guy is donezo. That would bring us to Celestina. You see now the last grafter that's at the edge of this cart here, now surrounded by you and Arguvar and Bayor.
All right. Covered in blood and probably on fire, I'm going to quickly sprint, war pick in hand, and I'm going to try to bring it into this creature's face.
Okay,
try to
go
crawl
for
into
it.
the cart. That's a nat 20.
Oh, that'll hit.
My first hit of the actual night.
There you go.
2d8 plus 5. Oh, that's gonna be 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then, is it still up?
It is. This one was the one that was involved in combat the least, so it is looking the best out of all of them.
All right, then I'm gonna use another flurry of blows, another key point, and I'm gonna all of the attacks are gonna go into this thing. As I'm gonna use all of my strength to kind of just knock this thing out, to just take this thing out.
Go
So
for it.
The first flurry of blows, that is going to be a 13 to hit.
That does not hit,
My bad,
unfortunately.
15.
That does hit.
All right, and I'm just gonna roll the second one again, just to see, and that's gonna be a 16.
16 hits.
All right, so it's gonna take 4 plus 1, so 15 more bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
As
Yo.
I just run into this with all of my weight to try to take this thing out, so 28 total.
Celestina, you run in, slamming it hard with your war pick in the back, opening up a large gash. You see it like open up its back to you. You take a step back and run forward, launching all of your body weight into the spine of this creature right at the gash that you had opened up. And you hear this sickening as it bends backwards slightly and then tumbles face first into the dirt on the ground right by Arguvar's feet. And it is silent in the meadow.
Yeah, wipe all
we
the
are
blood
actually,
and
because
fire
we
off
have
my eyes.
gone for a while here with this combat as it ends here, we are going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 10 minutes. Awesome job, y'all. That was
my God.
bonkers.
I'm glad
That
my first time was
100%
good.
did not go to their plan. So fun combat.
Hell yeah.
Yes, so we will all be right back in a moment, folks. Stick around. We got much more in store for tonight.
Take it easy.
See you in 10 minutes.
Hello and welcome back to Diceburgh. Jumping back into things here after a very dramatic fight with a figure from Arguvar's past as the last dragon human abomination falls at your feet. The wagon completely destroyed, barrels inside of it leaking blood that is running over the edges of the wagon and spilling out onto the ground. You are now seemingly alone in this meadow.
I investigate the fuck out of those barrels, bro.
After wiping what I assume is dragon
Roll an
blood off of my...
investigation.
Go for it, Arguvar.
Right away. I'm already in it.
I wipe the blood out of my eyes and put out some of the fires, but as Arguvar runs past me to start checking the barrels, in his mind, he hears, I haven't seen someone be that afraid in a while. What did this man do, or what is he capable of?
Arguvar is going to look
You
back.
can use this in your mind as well.
Yeah, he's just going to say it openly because he doesn't fully understand the difference between hearing something and thinking hearing something. And he's basically, by the way, DM 17 as I crack open barrels and start looking through shit.
Gotcha.
I am going. Arguvar is going to look over and he goes, "It is a very terrifying idea of what we believe to be an apocalypse within our order. And long ago, when I was but a very, very young child, he came to my order with sword in hand to destroy it. Former master and true seer. Unfortunately, he believed to be... The easiest way to call it is a dark prophet. Essentially, he believed in the sundering epochs. So, my order believes that if enough follow in our ways, that eventually we will find a singularity, a harmony with one another. We will want for nothing, need for nothing, and rip open barrel, throw something aside. And we will be in a state of constant peace. But it requires enough of us to follow in our ways. Kroll believes something far different. The opposite. Possibility that only one will remain in this world. How do you get there? And I'm just kind of gonna wave my arms around. This is what he brings. First and foremost, he needed to destroy my order because he believed it was the only way to make sure that he could begin this apocalypse. And he clearly has been working very hard at it. Also, what do I find, DM? Give me something.
Arguvar, barrel after barrel.
I'm ripping through things. This guy, I'm like, what's this bitch up to?
Barrel after barrel, both carts are full of them. Are just full of the same thick, dark red dragon's blood. That each one of them is seemed to be full of the top. it doesn't take you long to realize that this dragon was purposefully harvested and drained of its blood.
Wait. Do you mean to tell us that that person we just saw is going to try to end the world?
Yes, most definitely.
The
In
large
a very brutal annihilation.
Celestina has absolutely no idea how to process this, as the most dangerous thing that Celestina had dealt with prior to any of this is that one time a werewolf showed up and like stole a goat. Like that's probably been the most intense thing that Celestina dealt with before becoming an adventurer. And hearing that like, oh yeah, this dude's just gonna cause the end of the world. Celestina almost doesn't even believe that like that's not a thing that could possibly happen.
He wishes to call himself Omega, in the ultimate destruction, to bring on the Sundering, to bring on the Only One. To simply put it into perspective, and I'm going to take my claw and start drawing in the dirt, my order at one time was 15,000 large. Kroll came in, and then I'm going to make a big X through the 15,000. Now only I remain.
How
He's
did
able
you
to do that
survive?
through his cunning.
He killed.
How did you survive?
That is complicated. I was supposed to stay with the other children by our communal mother, but one of the true seers came to me with a much different plan and went against my order. You see, you must understand that we were prophesying this destruction for a long time. However, the elders did not find it wise to go against the order of what was to come, that we would fight him off and that we would win. However, one was under the impression that we would not.
Well,
And as a backup plan, he gave me the holy orders and the egg, which has slept for many years as I wait for it to hatch.
I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your. And I kind of hesitate for a moment. Your family. And I then start opening up one of the barrels, and I say, "Well, if we're going to stop him, we better get started in figuring out what he was doing." And I start giving Arguvar a hand just to get to figure out what's going on here.
I want to turn my attention towards the spire. To see, figure out what kind of ceremony they did other than, draining this thing literally. Why did they need to use the spire in order to, what connection does this thing have aside from the Black Dragon? What does this thing actually have towards, was it Dormac, the tree?
Gotcha. Yeah, Bayor, give me an investigation check here.
Also, how many of the dudes are dead on the ground?
There are. I'm trying to think. The one wagon did escape into the woods with the abomination. So only you did manage to keep the second wagon here. So there are 1, 2, 3 of the smaller grafters, as well as the other abomination that's dead. Here, I'll pop them back onto the map.
I'm just gonna start using mold earth to make some graves for them.
Okay. It's going to take a lot of earth to bury these large bodies, but you can certainly get to work on that.
I'll take the time.
I'm going to politely motion to Rylin to return the egg that I shoved at you last session. Very politely, thank you. I appreciate it.
I gingerly take the egg out. I literally gave it all I had.
Thank you. That sounds like 100%, which is a very strong number. I'm going to kind of look back over towards the actual dragon that has been harvested for, I assume, organs and blood and all that other jazz. I am going to then kind of quickly go, well, for one thing, he is actually using our order's teachings, which is disturbing. We do not have the same respect some of you seem to have for the dead. It becomes parts eventually, and he's certainly willing to use them.
We look at this dead dragon just kind of on the side.
Yeah,
So
just kind of giving it a
he
look-see.
My investigation skill is a -1, and I rolled a 19, so I have an 18.
Okay.
I thought you were about to be like, I rolled a 1.
No. But that would be funny too. Like, I don't even see a dragon. What are you talking about?
Bayor, you start to work your way around the perimeter of the obelisk, trying to see any way in. The obelisk itself towers above you. It disappears into the fog above your heads, and continues going. The outside of it is this smooth black obsidian glass that is reflective enough that you can see yourself in it. But there doesn't appear to be any entrance or any way in. It just appears to be a solid structure. But as you work your way over towards the west section behind this large crystal that's here, you notice there is a small cave, well, rather large cave opening that leads to a tunnel beneath the obelisk.
I'm following Bayor as he's doing this.
Does it look like there's any signs that this is maybe the home of this black dragon as well? Like, this might be... Because then that's going to lead me kind of maybe to go back to the dragon, pointing out the cave. But going back to the dragon, and I'm going to use ceremony, but I don't know if this would work. But doing the funeral rites with the intention to call forth Mordrak's name and saying, I will bring you peace, I will give you the funeral rite if you commune with me about your final moments. If you come forth and commune with me with your final moments, I will give you your funeral rites.
I will say you could certainly, within your knowledge, set up a religious ceremony to attempt to reach out to the spirit. Whether or not you're successful, we will see, but you could certainly begin making preparations for that kind of ritual.
Okay. Then I will go to the rest of the group then before doing that and say, can I request a group huddle? Yes.
I agree.
I'm going to attempt something. I've only ever read about this in fables and books about using one's faith to communicate with spirits. I believe that the creature hanging on the spire is actually Mordrak. And if true, I'm going to try to summon it to see what its final moments were like, to know exactly what Omega was attempting to do with its body.
Bayor, before you try to summon a dragon, and I look to the party, can we rest a little bit first? Rylin, Arguvar, and Big G's, and myself included, could probably use a little bit of rest before we try to commune with the dragon in case things don't work out. And I look to what Big G's doing as well, and I say, we need a little bit more time as well, it seems, to dig some graves.
A bit of time. We are still on the clock. We are burning daylight with every passing moment. I think a rest is well earned, but I agree with AR. His silly faith seems to do things, despite the fact that it is clearly incorrect. And even though he, for some reason, is simply smiling at me and knows that he's incorrect right now, I'm happy to say that hopefully this will help us in the long run, but not necessarily because his faith is probably wrong. We should try, is what I'm getting at. We should try.
If there's anything that time will teach you, is that faith does not beget friendship.
If this means that we can save my home, I think this is our best course of action. Especially if we're saving a home that I don't remember being in.
Omega will annihilate everything if we give him the chance.
Then we won't give him the chance.
Man, woman, child, it is said even squirrels are not given a chance. He will kill everything.
Right.
Are squirrels holy in your order?
Nope, it's just an example. He will get every living creature. Even bugs.
I am standing enough to post the first watch, if we want to get rest.
I was thinking that we only rest for like an hour while digging the graves and you'd set up the ritual. I didn't assume we were going to rest here for the whole day. It's still pretty early.
Yeah,
Alright.
I asked for a short rest.
Yeah, short rest is what short rest is
So
the preference.
you all take apart Bayor setting up your ritual. Big G, the rest of you.
I would like to forego the short rest in order to dig the graves.
Okay. Sure. Big G, digging graves, and going about that business. The rest of you can spend any hit points you like as we go about this short rest here.
I can't let Big G do it alone. If I see him like working while people are resting, all right, Big G, hand me a shovel. Come on.
I take out my little shovel.
And I start digging along with him while everyone else is resting.
As you go about this work and as you all rest over this hour or so, you begin to become aware of a faint humming that is present in this meadow here. It's like a faint vibration that rings slightly through the air. The hour or so passes. Bayor, your ritual is set up. I'll say by this point in time, Big G and Celestina, you've dug the graves and buried the dragon hybrid bodies in some rough graves and covered them over with some dirt.
I don't like that we're getting good at this.
I would set up a funeral pyre then for the Black Dragon. And this would be meta knowledge, knowing that dragons would consume their horde before they died. So the promise would have to be that I would have to go find his gold in order to give it to him. But if not, I'm going to have some gold on hand. I have 50 right now to perform the rite by feeding him gold as his final, like, river of sticks kind of thing, placing it in his mouth. So I guess I'll work on getting enough sticks to set a flame and getting the big old black dragon off the spire eventually.
So that's going to be quite a task. This was a very old, very large dragon.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that on my own, and that's going to be contingent on whether or not I can actually get this ghost to appear.
But yeah, you can certainly, luckily, as the wagons were drawn through here, several large trees were knocked down or taken out. So you're able to easily gather up all the firewood that you need and construct this pyre.
All right. Well then, I look at everyone else. Are we ready?
Yes. You can tell Arguvar's a little antsy. There's kind of like, all right, let's do this kind of charade and let's keep moving.
You hold on. I actually did forget. I'm gonna pull out a scroll. And there's a little arcane slot. I had to put 2 gold into it. And I go, I had to pay royalties to Jim. That's my bad. Forgot to do that.
How did you meet Jim?
Jim was the guy that we saved in the tunnel, remember?
That was Jim?
Yeah, it was Jim.
Oh,
Yeah, he taught me everything most things that I know.
I hope he's doing well. I hope he and Grandpa are having fun.
All right then. I'm going to try to summon Mordrak.
Okay. Bayor, as you all gather around to help Bayor with this ritual, Bayor, you focus. You begin praying the standard, rites of passage and start to just go into these prayers that you know and you've rehearsed. Give me a religion check with advantage here, since you have
buddy.
the group's help.
Oh, buddy. That's a good one. That's my class too. It's either a 6 or a 17. All right, 21.
21.
Still have the default targets in more than less time.
Bayor, as you concentrate on this magics and you concentrate on this ritual that you're performing, you feel a presence in the meadow. The rest of you looking around, Bayor closed your eyes, but the rest of you looking around the meadow, you see a darkness start to set over. There's a wind that picks up and begins whipping the trees, and you hear branches rustling around as you see dirt begin to pick up in a whirlwind that is circling the body of this black dragon. And you hear a voice that rings out through the meadow and says, "Why have you summoned me?"
Is this the voice of Mordrak, the great dragon?
Summoned me from beyond.
We have found your body, waylaid on a spire. You have been denied your rightful end. I have come to parley for information.
What do you have to offer me?
Your rightful seat. Peace in the beyond, as all creatures of your great stature are earned, if you but answer my questions.
You seek to fulfill your promise. When the great beyond is all around.
I only kind of understood you there, Kurt.
How do you seek to fulfill your promise when the great beyond is all around us? I'll try to speak more enunciative.
I think it was just a whisper cutting off the mic, sorry. It was good flavor though. Keep it going. I have seen your body as it lays here before me. It does not appear you have gorged upon your wealth. I may give you that, and that inner peace that comes with it, for you to pass into a greater beyond than what you have here. If you answer my questions.
My horde is lost to the war, but a proper burial can still be given.
How did you die, Mordrak the Great? What befell you? What were your last moments?
Lord, attack. They intrude upon this space. This sacred space.
Have you caused the curse that blights this land?
No. Not God, but used for my own gain.
Was the curse here before you?
Yes. I hid in the Shadowfell and was drawn here. I discovered the spire and made my keep beneath it.
That is all I need to know. You have fulfilled your promise, and so I shall mine.
And offer your gold. Burn my body and let me rest.
Can we all hear this, or is it just Bayor?
Yeah, you can all hear this.
I'm going to step forward briefly. Dragon! I know the cowards who slew you. I ask that if you know any power within your keep, or that you hold now, to gift us it so that we may kill the ones who attacked you.
Little dragonkin, you possess the power you need.
Arguvar is gonna go back and kind of look to Bayor and is like, we need to keep moving. I think we have everything we need here.
All right. I've said my piece, and I'm gonna look at him and say I need help getting this dragon down.
How high up is it on the spire?
It is dangling, so like its head is probably 4 or 5 feet above the ground, with the rest of it hoisted above with a series of ropes and some pretty crude stakes. It is rather difficult work, but you're able to loosen the stakes from the obelisk. I'm sorry, Janders, what did you say?
I was just gonna use Molder to like push the stakes out from a distance.
Sure. Makes it much easier. You're able to pull the stakes out, and the dragon's body slides down towards where you had
like the biggest dead fish.
prepared this pyre.
Yeah.
As you light the funeral pyre, the flames start to consume the wood and the body of this dragon. Arguvar, you feel an intense heat radiating from your pack.
Hold on, everyone. I'm going to look down, open up my bag, and lift out the egg. I hope it's the egg and not more.
Yes, it is. So the egg is warm to the touch, almost hot. And it is vibrating slightly. It is giving off that same hum that is present in the whole meadow here.
don't know. I don't know if I can be a parent already. Okay, I got this. All right.
Oh, let's dunk
Okay.
it in the dragon blood.
What
Cool
did you
it
just
off.
say to me? What did you just say?
Well, I mean, maybe it'll get more power.
Dunk it in give it a dragon bloodbath. Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, like
Is that
it's
how
like
dragons
like those crazy Paylor people do this. They like dunk it in. It's like, Paylor blessed you.
Big G, you and I are going to have a long chat about Parrington. Parrington?
Well, I
Parrington.
mean, that's what my father did to me. He kind of
I
just
have a
pulled me
feeling
out,
that-
gave me a dagger, said, "Go get us food."
I have a feeling that Arguvar has one of those little books like Parenting for Dummies.
Oh,
like, in his back.
He's like,
Flips to chapter 10. He's
if
like,
if I bring the egg closer to the pyre, does it seem to react differently?
It does. Arguvar, as you bring the egg closer to the pyre, not only does the warmth it give off seem to intensify, and the vibrations it give off seem to vibrate slightly stronger, but it also begins to glow with this deep, vibrant purple light.
May I roll nature just to make sure that this is a proper birth? Like, this birth is on the up and up?
Sure.
Okay. Because I don't want to just be like, okay, here, baby, funeral pyre of a black dragon. Like that, who knows? Probably known as the Dread or something. Fuck it, that's a 3. I put this baby in the fire. Hell yeah.
Okay. Arguvar, I was going to say, you know actually very little about dragon births. It's sort of a strange blind spot in your order's knowledge. It's a very secretive moment, but you do know dragon spirits generally do go through some sort of rebirth cycle.
Oh, I'm sorry, Arguvar. Put it in dragon blood. Oh, that's crazy. But throw it in a fucking fire. Oh, perfect.
Arguvar, as you place the egg in the fire,
Sacred knowledge 26498. Blood can spread disease. Sorry.
The light intensifies until a violet light fills the entire meadow. All of you have to avert your eyes, and you're blinded by it for a moment. Even Arguvar, as you're right in front of it, you hear this vibrating sound, this hum grow louder and louder until it's like a high pitch in all of your ears. And just when it reaches a crescendo, it dies down suddenly. The light disappears, the noise dies down, and as you all blink and your sight comes back to you, you realize the obelisk is gone, the funeral pyre is gone, the dragon is gone, there's no dirt tracks or cart tracks. You're still in the same meadow that you were before. But
Is the egg still there?
I'm sorry?
Is the egg gone?
The egg is still there.
Okay.
The egg is sitting on the ground now in front of Arguvar. But the fog and the swamp that are all surround you are gone. And you look up and you are floating through this vast expanse of open space. The same purple crystals that were on the ground and floating above your heads now seem to be orbiting whatever body that you are standing on. Far, far above your heads, you see these massive celestial bodies orbit each other, these swirling orbs of red and blue and white and brown. You see from to the side 2 more float in and join with the other ones. One of them is green and the other gray, as they all form this orbiting circle. Just then, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bayor.
Can I cast Divine Sense just so I can see Celestial kind of detect good or evil?
Yeah, let me look up how that works real quick.
As an action, you detect good or evil until the end of your next turn. You sense anything affected by a Hallow spell or the known location of any Celestial Fiend undead within 60 feet. It's not behind total cover, so it's just noting whatever the presence is.
So
What
in your
are you?
immediate vicinity, you don't feel any of that.
Okay.
We're having an acid trip, everybody. It's okay. I mustn't
Arguvar,
mate with you due to my vows.
Just go with it.
Arguvar, I just want to say, I lost my temper. I'm sorry. Apparently, you do know more about parenting than I do.
I'm going to, like, wide-eyed look back to Big G. All that is a true fact. I did not plan for this.
Oh.
Just then, you see a figure or shape rise over the horizon of this little meadow that you're on, obscuring your view from the bodies, and you see a massive eye open up on the side of this shape, and a pupil look around and focus in on your group. As the head of whatever this creature is, it turns back and swivels back towards, and you see a massive flipper-like appendage float up, and you are propelled through space as you realize you are on the back
I
of
mustn't
some.
mate with you due to my vows.
Are we on the back of Jorgmundor?
You are on the back of some massive turtle-like being.
Okay.
Floating through space, and as you see, you are traveling towards these floating orbs, and you pass in between two of them as they float by, as you're just gliding through the cosmos.
We can breathe though, right?
Yes, yeah.
Is this typical in childbirth? I've never experienced this before.
They cover this in planned dragonhood, yeah.
Okay.
We're on top of a giant turtle, right?
That seems to be the case.
I feel like we can agree that we are not on our normal plane of existence right now.
And would this be like a recognized religion? Like,
Not to you, Bayor. No, not to any of you. This is something beyond anything that you've heard of.
I have a
what
question.
Yeah.
Does the creature understand a language?
It does. And you actually hear Celestina as you try to reach out to this creature, as I assume you're going to.
Yeah, absolutely. As all of a sudden my mind fully believing that I'm asleep, fully believing that whatever happened with the dragon egg killed me and that I am dead. I am going to try to connect with this creature, and I say, what is all of this?
Celestina.
That's your second one, Arguvar.
You hear a voice call back. It's actually not only to Celestina, all of you hear this voice call back to you. It says, "This is everything, and it is time to wake." And just then the glow returns from the egg, and you're all blinded again, and the high-pitched hum hits your ears, and you're disoriented for a moment, and then it fades, and you're back in the swamp, and you're back underneath the spire. The funeral pyre has almost completely burnt out, and there's nothing but a pile of ashes and embers that are left there, with the egg sitting in the center. Arguvar, you notice though the egg has changed. It's not a smooth beige, slightly scaled egg. It is more stone-like in appearance. It has a ring towards the bottom, like where it is the thickest of these stone-like crystals that are now embedded into it, and the entire egg has taken on a very light purple hue.
May I roll some kind of nature or religion or cosmic who the fuck knows what the fuck that shit was? Whatever psychedelia I need to do to get from A to B. What am I rolling here, DM?
Go ahead, give me religion.
Okay, first things first. Arguvar is gonna vomit.
I want to roll a con save to see if I vomit.
Yes, rolling for vomit.
Yeah, 13.
I just had an epiphany, but we'll get to it.
Everyone takes a level in cleric after this.
I looked just to see if the rest of the group saw what I saw. Just like looking around, like, did you? Did you?
Big G is just like on his knees, clutching his head, just like.
At 13 DM.
13. Arguvar, from what your order has said through stories and passed down about dragon birth and dragon eggs, you know that it is a long process.
Right.
It is not as simple as there is an egg and it incubates for a while and then a dragon hatches out. There's a lot of different variables that can go into what type of dragon can hatch out of the egg, what type of dragon hatches out of the egg. And you know from your order, at least, their stories say that this is all tied to the energies surrounding the egg as it is undergoing its development.
All right. Vomit. Oh, God. Pick up the egg. Turn around to everyone else. We all saw the giant turtle, correct?
Well, that's relieved.
Yeah, I collapse as soon as it's been confirmed. I collapse along with Big G. I'm just like.
Okay.
This is
well,
awful.
I don't know how else to put this delicately. I think dragon birth might be a little bit more complicated than I initially thought, and I would like to throw this idea out. We could forget this happened and keep moving because we do have things to do. I'm going to vomit again.
You said that the fog cleared up, right? Like we can see the bright, clear sky now.
No, as you now look back, you are back in the swamp just as it was. Fog and clouds, the sun still. Actually, you do notice as you look around here, Celestina, the sun, for the first time since you have entered the swamp, is in a different location in the sky. It's as if several hours have passed from the last time you were here.
And from the fire. We've lost a lot of time.
We've got to make it back.
Get my bearings and vomit again.
I'm going to look at the party and just go, this is awful. We have to go back. We have to go back.
Go back to what?
Earlier. Oh no.
Big G. And I get low and I look at him and I say, Big G, before we knew about this, whatever we saw, apparently it was doing the same thing. Look at me. Nothing has changed, but now we know. We're going to be okay.
I'm going to grab you by the collar and go, you don't understand. Everything's changed. I forgot my hammock back what the Banderhobbs was. This is awful.
I'm going to look at Bayor. I'm going to look at Bayor.
I actually laugh. I laugh really hard to Big G. Like a big smile crosses my face.
I'm going to vomit again, look at Bayor and go, that's it. I'm going to break his snout. I'm going to do it right now.
Oh, as the group of you are laughing at this moment, Bayor, you hear a as inches from your head in a tree that you're standing next to, there is a crossbow bolt that has embedded itself into the tree. Just as you react to it and look, you all see a figure that is striding out of the woods, crossbow pressed against their cheek, trained at all of you. Before you can see exactly who it is, there's another as Big G inches from your feet in the ground in front of you, the bolt lands. And you hear the voice say, take one more step and the next one goes through one of your skulls.
I immediately step forward. I actually put myself in front of Big G and I say, and who are you to tell us that? Seeing someone try to shoot at him.
So Celestina, as you take a step forward, looking at this figure striding out of the swamp now, you actually recognize this person. They are wearing a Feld insignia on one shoulder. He lowers his hood, and you see this is a black man. He has braided hair that is pulled back and kept away from his face. He's wearing earth-toned leather armor that's covered in mud to camouflage itself in with the swamp. This is the scout, the recon scout that you all saw when you first met with Commander Miranda, way back before you left the Mirenfeld.
It's that guy, yeah. The one who we
Yeah.
really confused by our kindness.
Yeah, you saw him for a brief moment way back in episode 1. He was reporting to Commander Miranda. And was talking to you a little bit about the swamp.
What was his name again?
His name, you actually did not catch his name.
Oh, I didn't.
You did not ask for it, and she did not give it to you. So he stands next to you, and Celestina looks at you in the face and goes, I'm the one doing the questioning here. Now, what the fuck did all of you just do?
I'm gonna look around to see if he's the only person here.
The only person, yes. But Big G, as you glance around, you see there is a pair of eyes that is in the fringes of the tree line that is crouching forward, and out stalks what appears to be a small, very sleek dragon-looking creature that is like a silver in color. And you see the man put his hand up and go, "Not yet, Margaret. Now, you gonna explain yourselves?"
We didn't kill him?
Um,
We found him like this and were simply giving him his rightful resting place.
It was honestly a waste of resources. I mustn't mate with you due to my vows.
Noted.
This is what he told us to do. We found him this way?
You found who this way?
I mean, aren't you wondering about the pyre standing behind us?
I'm referring to whatever that light was, whatever just happened in the swamp.
Oh, yes. Well, that's a little bit more to explain. Well,
We got
easiest way to explain it is we found a dead black dragon whose name is Mordok, and we simply sent him to his resting place.
Okay.
And
I whispered, "Don't mention the egg." Just to you, don't mention the egg.
You see as like Rylan's shoulders tense up.
You get away with it.
And whenever he finally reached his final state, a mysterious light happened, and then we all woke up kind of in the ground, on the ground, and the fire was out.
Where are the wagons?
There's one right there.
You can lower the crossbow now. I'm pretty sure, as he's still pointing his crossbow, first off, if we're going to continue this conversation, you're going to lower that crossbow. You will not be pointing at that to my friends anymore.
Seems to me you don't really know who you're talking to.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure why am I Southerner now? Well, I think we met each other a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
I think it was only a couple of
You look
days.
familiar. Yeah, we all got these like insignias the same as you.
I'm from the Mirenfeld. Tracking whoever stole those wagons. They went missing a couple weeks ago, around about the time you all left.
Weeks ago?
Yes. I mean, if this is a further conversation, we can definitely tell you what we found, but we're all on the same side here.
What do you mean weeks ago? We only left maybe a couple of days ago. go to the swamps?
It's been about 2 weeks since y'all left.
Oh.
There's no way. The Feld was. We were going to be leading the Feld. What do you mean 2 weeks have passed? We've only been here. I kind of look around to everyone for a moment. It's only been like a couple of days, right?
Yes, from where we are
Yes.
standing. Which could have afforded whoever's standing here before us lots more time than we would have expected.
Man, it's the longest trip I've ever taken. Whew.
But I have a few things to say to you, my friend. First, you're holding a crossbow. It has one shot. You're standing not that far away. I would reach you. I'm just going to say that now. Second, you are also standing on the dominion of a druid, a very powerful one. Her name is Kamort. The insignia that you have on your chest means that you work for Commander Miranda. But you are standing not on their land. So whoever sent you here is not in command. And we work for that druid.
Can I roll insight on this person just to try to suss out what their intentions are?
Sure.
We were sent here in order to bring balance to the swamp.
Give me that
your
crit.
question. Your question, what just happened? If balance was brought, then we have done our job. I have no idea what else has happened.
And you see, for the first time, Arguvar.
I peer into their soul.
This individual is very scared. Is the first and foremost. It is tense, but it is a tension that comes from something that he does not understand. He's also very straightforward, very to the point. He's being very honest about the reasons why he is here and on this mission. Bayor, you do see now, as he takes crossbow and looks at all of you, he does lower it for a second. And it looks over at the drake that is near you and goes, Margaret, keep an eye on. And he slings the crossbow over his back, and you see he looks very intently at the tracks and makes his way over to the wagons, where the wagons were, and begins looking around and inspecting them. As Big G, you look, and this drake is coming very close to you.
I'm going to take out a little bit of rope, cut it off, and tie it into a ball and be like, oh, you want the ball? You want the ball? Go get it. And throw it into the swamp.
Make a deception. Make a
performance.
Ball handling?
Performance.
A performance check? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 15.
15. Big G, you dangle the ball and you toss it, and the drake does not break eye contact with you.
I'm going to mage hand the ball back. No, they
Just
don't want to play fetch.
Very well trained.
Not a fetching kind of drake, I guess.
You said that you saw a light in the swamp. How long ago did you see this light?
Just before I came in here.
Before you came into this grove, or before you came into this swamp?
Before I came into this grove here. And he stands up now and he looks over at you and he goes, how many of those things were here?
What things?
Creatures.
And he points down at like the large tracks, and then over at the very not well hidden burial mounds.
Oh.
We
The colloquial term is a whole bunch.
There were a few these abomination creatures.
Well, we took down 3, and then the big one, and then another big one, and then another small one ran away. So 6.
You all did this.
Not
Be more exact with that What do you mean, did this?
You all killed these things.
Yes.
Yes.
Huh.
There was somebody here. There was something here before us. And I also point out there were 2 wagons, and we don't know what else was going on, but they were filled with barrels of dragon blood. And I usually assume the other one was, and whoever was leading them got away. We were able to stop one of the carts, but we don't know what else.
Did you see the person leading them?
Dragonborn person, mostly red, but with an engorged green arm. They were powerful with magics. And then immediately in Arguvar's mind, he hears telepathically, "Can I trust this person to tell them about the person we saw?"
Arguvar is going to respond aloud. No, he's going to try to speak in the mind. I'm going to go for it. He's basically going to say, this person is very frightened. I wouldn't say that immediately.
Understood. But, I know that they were powerful, but they left. They used some form of magics and got away. But they seemed frustrated by the fact that we did so much to them, so I don't know what their plans were, but we've definitely put a hindrance on them.
And you see, he finishes whatever his investigation is of this area, and then strides up to your group, right beside the Drake. And he looks down and he goes, "Stand down, Margaret. My name is Warden Foster. I'm part of the Advanced Recon Scouting Unit. Commander Miranda sent me towards the swamp here to track down some stolen wagons. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off as hostile, but the commander believes there might be a traitor in the camp, and I had to take my precautions."
Hey, you're just doing your job. I mean, it's respectable.
Sorry for matching your hostility earlier. I should have been the bigger person. My apologies.
You can't be too careful out here. To be honest, we thought you were all dead.
Yeah, to change the subject, did you find Captain Yorick?
I haven't been in the swamp very long myself. I've been following these tracks for the last couple of days from the foothills.
Wait, you've made it
He'd
here
be with the
alone?
druid.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Celestina.
You made it here alone?
Oh, yeah. That's what I do.
Celestina's impressed. If he made it this far alone, yeah.
Wait, before you came into the swamp, did you meet an old, haggard-looking lady?
Can't say I did. There's a lot of folks in the swamp. There's a lot of strange things out there. I mostly kept to my own, tried to keep distance from them.
Good.
So you've only been here for a few days?
As far as I can tell.
What we thought.
And wait, question. Did you see some floating lights, and commonly known as will-o-wisps, on your way in?
Well, yeah, I saw them here or there, but like I said, I was pretty much following the wagon tracks as soon as they entered the swamp.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
I produced the shield from the other party. Do you recognize this shield?
Takes it and looks it over. I don't know it's one of ours. I'm guessing it's one of the other scouting units that Miranda sent you here after.
It belonged to Amoros, a dragonborn, yes.
I can't say I really knew him.
Just for a
Talked to him
quick,
once or twice in the mess.
Just for a quick thing, just to make sure. The obelisk is still here, or is that gone?
The obelisk is still here, yes.
Okay.
There is one of their party that I have reason to believe was not with them when we found the rest of them dead. If I am, speaking out of game, if I am still correct on that, was there one missing? Unaccounted for?
There were technically two. There were two sets of footprints leading out into the swamp from the camp.
Okay. And one of them I believe to be Kalana. I don't know if that's actually true.
Hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you recognize that name.
Can't say that one rings a bell to me.
Hmm.
But we don't really spend much time in camp. We're out in the field most of the time. Speaking of, what were y'all supposed to be doing here? Weren't you supposed to be scouting the way for the Feld?
Well, we did. We actually did find a way to get to the Great Trench, which is why we left Captain Yarick with the Guardian of the Spring Court, in hopes to guide you safely once you arrived at the edge of the swamp with the Feld. But now time's a little bit of a jumble, since you said it's been about 2 weeks.
It's a wibbly wobbly thing.
Yeah.
How close is the city to the Death Trench now?
Well, the city was making its way into the foothills outside Three Rivers Watch. Should be there within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Wait,
I mean,
when we left, it was supposed to get here within a week. And you're telling us it's been 2 weeks and it's still not here yet?
There's been some weather issues, some trying to get around the foothills. The blizzard's been moving in faster than we expected, and that's caused some
Inside
problems.
check.
Yeah, I have a passive inside of 16 as well.
Inside
so
for
if-
time.
if
I
anything,
will.
just
I will
raise-
tell
blizzard.
you that is a dungeon master error, and you do not have to be
Okay.
suspicious of the timeline for that dude.
I would
Big
like
G's
to make an
gonna-
attack. He's a liar.
We
Big
punch
G's
him
just
to
gonna
make
look
sure
at
he's
him.
not goop.
And he's just gonna go, "There's a blizzard? I've never seen one of those. We should go back.
Is
That'd
he
be really
goop?
cool to see."
He might be goop. Okay,
Sorry.
so then from this conversation, we deduce that we are still on time.
Yes. So you haven't fallen behind time yet. No, the city is still on the outskirts of the city. The Feld is still on the outskirts of the city, and the blizzard is not completely set
No.
down on it yet.
Wait, okay, we need quick clarification because time error.
Yes.
Were we gone for longer than we thought we were gone, or was that just
So
DM time error?
you have been gone for longer than you thought you were gone.
Okay.
The Feld, it has taken longer than it was supposed to get there.
Okay, so it's a train A and train B kind of equation.
Listen,
Both.
gas prices
Both.
are expensive now. You gotta take your time. Like,
Yeah,
was on cruise control for the last little bit.
yeah.
yeah. Had to
Okay.
pull off a lot of restroom breaks.
Just making sure we didn't have like retcon that entire conversation. All right, continue. Sorry.
No, you're all good.
A warden. Warden,
Y-
right?
Yeah.
Well, two things. One, this dog of yours is amazing. Great training. Good job. And secondly, how much of this swamp have you explored?
Not very much yet. In fact, as little as possible, to be honest.
Oh, never mind then. You continue on.
Well,
Get you another one, Big G. It's okay.
It was special to me, Celestina. I just, had a special place in my heart.
We have to
So,
double back anyway. We can swing by.
Yeah, with the question, answering the warden's question about what we're doing here, as Rylin had pointed out, that we had figured out the way to the Great Trench, guiding with the druid, in exchange for investigating this obelisk and the source of whatever powerful sickness that is infecting this place. We intend to go underneath this obelisk as soon as possible.
why would you want to do something like that?
There is a conjunction of the planes happening. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I'm assuming the planar drift.
Yes. And there is one happening here.
Hashtag casual planar drift.
As it happens.
So the planar
Crazy,
drift is actually, it's a pretty
curious.
well-known like phenomena of nature.
Right, I'm
so
just a
that's
bigot. stoned in my own head. It's fine.
He's like, no, it doesn't happen. Sun
I don't
rises
believe in
the-
evolution. It's fine.
Mark
Sun rises in the west.
denier.
Totally rises in the west. Yeah, he says, there is a conjunction that has forced the Shadowfell in a place that it shouldn't be. And the powerful druid believes that we could somehow cure whatever sickness or disease that is happening in this area, in this location with this obelisk.
Oh, you know what? That's starting to make a lot more sense now. And he nods towards the edge of the meadow and says, "Come here."
All right, I come here.
Look forward with Baylor.
And he leads you over towards the edge of the meadow. And you see, it's a very stark line between the vibrant, like rich green meadow and this gray swamp. But as you look out into the swamp now, there are sections of it that have changed. Portions of the swamp, instead of being this weird combination, it's as if the Feywild and the Shadowfell have been separated with a hard line, as if the reality between them has been cracked. In some sections, there's vibrant green plant life and flowers, and you can see wildlife running around. In other sections, it is gray, almost monotoned, and completely devoid of all life. And like I said, there's like a jagged line running through the swamp, cutting trees in half, or one half of the tree will be alive and the other half will be dead. He goes, this happened about when that light happened.
Oh,
Does this look a lot better than when we left it? In a way? Or yes and no?
Yeah, I'm gonna say mostly yes. As far as your initial judgment of it, it at least looks as if the planes have been split and kept apart from each other instead of a merger between them.
We don't want the Feyfell.
it looks like we did something.
The
Not fully.
Shadowfiled?
Celestina has literally no idea what could have possibly even remotely happened. Literally no clue.
Is somebody doing some gardening over there?
You see as like Rylan's trying to like think things through and like a small like nosebleed happens as she's trying to like put the pieces together.
Sorry.
How far away is the travel to the Great Tree?
The tree was about a day's travel, a little less than a day.
I forgot about the Deku tree. Fuck. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, great tree.
Yeah.
Great tree.
Yeah, it has a name too that I totally wrote down.
I bet it's not Deku.
Dormac. It's Dormac.
Okay.
Dormac. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Do we want to go and maybe check on Kamort and Dormac and then maybe come back to look underneath the spire?
I think it'd probably be faster if we check out the spider while we're here.
Yeah, I think we should go under now.
I look to the captain and
Just
I
to
say,
see if there's anything still beating down there.
That-
It could be that we have driven the stake, and then we could drive it further back.
Right.
that, and I look at the giant, what I assume is the weird dragon thing. That dog.
A
Can it-
scaly dog.
Can it track by scent?
Not a gecko.
Her name's Margaret, and yeah, she's pretty good at it.
And I reach into my supplies and I get the bowl that Yarick was eating out of. I say, we have some unfinished business here with this spire, but do you think you'd be able to start making our way to our companion? If you were able to make it here this easily, I imagine it won't be hard for you.
No, I reckon I can. I assume, and he looks at the carnage scene behind you. He goes, I assume you'll all be all right.
Yes. Quick question. Have any of those swamp lilies begun to bloom out of the decay?
Oh,
Not
yeah,
in
hag to kill,
this
that's right.
section, not in this meadow.
Okay.
I
Hag
buried
to
those
murder.
people, thank you very much.
Haggy hag.
And
Warden. I have just 2 questions. That sort of relate. One, your dog over here can't change colors, right?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a tricky question. It happens pretty slowly over time, and you see as you look at it, Margaret is mostly like a silvery drake, but there is like a swirl of black that has begun to like creep up and swirl through her hide.
I just look at Bayor, mouth gaped open, rips off my sunglasses. I go, and I just point, and I go, is that it?
What?
He thinks it's a chameleon.
Oh, that's not a chameleon.
you know what the chameleon is?
You said
I'm
you
pretty
said
sure
it
I know what a
changes
chameleon
colors,
is.
That it has scales. That dog is.
I'm going to be completely honest. That sounds like the chameleon we were looking for.
That's not a chameleon.
What's a chameleon?
It's
It's
That
it's a
seems to be
very
a chameleon.
small and tiny lizard.
But
Um,
the warden's just here for all this.
sorry.
He just asked if we can handle everything, and then we just start freaking out over whether or not his drake is a chameleon.
And secondly, Yarick. Do you know Yarick? Is he?
Yeah, unfortunately, I know Yarick.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, that gives
Yarick,
us too much
man.
help that he's still alive.
He doesn't have
You
it
think
in
he's
with anybody.
competent?
Are we just gonna move past the fact that apparently this is not the chameleon? Are we just gonna move past that?
Oh, I'll get back to it. Don't worry. I just want to make sure Yarick's okay. Like, if he's capable of handling himself, he'll probably be
He's
fine.
most likely dead, and the world is better
Oh.
for it.
Well, no, I don't think so. He was a lovely individual, and he had.
No, he was not.
He just
mean,
was
Fake
in the wrong
praise is
trade.
not real praise.
He probably had other ways to shine.
He had a weak nose.
What do you have?
I mean, Yarick probably shouldn't have made his way on the Mirenfeld, but if I find him, I'll make sure he gets back safe.
I appreciate
Yeah, I mean,
that.
he did get lost in like the first 10 minutes of us entering the swamp.
Yeah,
Actually,
but he really was like turning
entering the
over
town.
a new leaf in that druid garden. I mean, he seemed to be
It's
a changed
because
man.
he knew nothing of his life before.
Fresh start.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What is the warden's name, by the way? I forgot to write that down.
Oh,
It's like-
Warden is his first name.
Yeah.
His first name is Warden. His last name is Foster.
What is his
thought he was the
profession?
head of a prison?
Well, no, because forest wardens are a thing. I thought maybe he was just
Oh.
like, oh yeah, no, I am a warden of the
Wait a minute,
woods.
is a
like,
forest
you know,
warden when in charge keeping the trees prisoner?
like a fire warden.
No, that's the
like
Lorax.
You know,
Keeping the fire prisoner?
like a marshal, but like a warden. Like they watch over. They're a watcher.
Yeah, like a one would look over the many prisoners, the trees.
This is a thing. It's a thing. This is a
I'll
thing.
believe you.
Arizona, I love you. That was a great one. Nobody caught it.
Before we send Warden out into the wilderness.
He's probably gonna get
To his
ganked by the
prisoners.
druid. By the way, we didn't say that we could
Right.
give him plus ones.
So I'm gonna pull another seedling out of my pouch. It's probably one of my first seedlings that I found as I was washing up on the beach. So this very lovely, like, cata lily, kind of that like you see kind of in the dunes of sand. And I'm going to bloom it into this lovely blue and kind of turquoise color. I'm going to hand it to Warden. If you make it to Kamort,
let her know the lost child of the Winter Court sent you.
Will
This
do.
will be your token. And I really do hope that we can trust you as you travel forward.
Let's just say you finish up whatever you got to do here. You meet me back at that tree, and we'll get us back to the Mirenfeld in one piece.
Sina, can you give him a map?
Absolutely. And I reach into my thing and I give him, and I actually was going to give him mine. I was like, actually, here. If you can also afterwards return it to the family of. I flip open the half of the thing. Is there a name written in here? On the sketchbook?
Oh, in the sketchbook.
That would have been Hobson. Hobson
That was
the
that was
mapmaker.
Hobson.
I can't read it, but I hand it over and say, there's somebody's name in here. They were a halfling, and
Then
I
Bayor
believe
speaks up.
this
Bayor
might
speaks
be
up on the
theirs.
map maker, and say that was Hobson, the map maker.
Whoever Hobson was or lived their life to be, if they had their family, if this could be returned back to them.
We'll
as
do.
well.
I'll make sure it gets where it needs to go.
Also, it has a moderately detailed map of what we can assume is the first bit of the swamp. It matches everything that I've seen up to this point, minus a few markings that are indiscernible.
That'll be useful. Thanks.
If you meet anyone and you suspect them to be goop, the best option is to immediately deck them in the face.
I reach into my bag and I see it's not there, and I look to Arguvar. Arguvar, show him morph, just in case he runs into something like that.
Why would I want to show him morph?
Because
Morph
you
is a
have
friend.
to show him the jar so that way he knows what to look out for. I'd hate for
You
him
know
to
what
lose
goop
his memory.
looks like.
I would lose for him. I take out my sketchbook and I start just drawing a little the vial. It's rough, it's crude, but I'm like, if you see things that look like this, but not in a vial, some oozes or whatever.
I could have just done this, and I just minor illusion and more.
Thank you. I pinch the bridge of my nose. Like, thank you, Big G. I knew I could count on you. If you see something like that, please be careful. We've done a little bit of research on this kind of creature, and especially in an area like this, it's very dangerous. It seems to be stealing memories, so be extra careful.
Will do. I'll keep my distance from anything I see in the swamp. Try to get to that tree ASAP.
You.
All right. Well, and you see he prepares his stuff and Margaret along with them, and he nods to you all and goes, "Well, good luck."
We'll be right behind you.
We're
Takes
going to the
off
obelisk.
into the
Look
swamp.
out for goop.
Turning back around here, you're all gonna investigate underneath the obelisk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Making your way into, it's a very small cave entrance. Even for a dragon this size, it very clearly had to like squirm its way. It's a very crudely dug out cavern beneath the obelisk. It has one larger central chamber that you see. There is a few pelts and hides of different things that are tossed into a pile of a bed. You see there is a small pile of gold, as well as some various pieces of equipment and armor and weaponry. The small makeshift hoard that it probably could have put together in its limited time here. It's very clearly like a temporary thing. Not something that it had much time to set up with.
No, these tunnels are not up to Kobold standard.
Hey, or
If they were up to Kobold standard, we would not be able to stand here.
Bear, you did magics for that dragon, correct?
Yes, and gave it my coin purse so that it could consume a horde.
If we disturb any of this stuff, there's no chance that we might accidentally undo your magics, is there?
As far as I know, this isn't part of it. It would have had to consume it.
He thought he
It's
lost
long
it.
dead. It's a pile of ash.
Very well.
As Arguvar would say, the body is now just a husk.
And you mustn't mate with me due to my vows.
That too.
And yeah,
That's a
I
given.
I probably start looking through some of the supplies just to see like what could have been here, or like just to kind of get like an idea of what was being done in here.
Sure. Yeah, so this as far as you can tell, it's probably too small of an amount for a dragon to really consider this a hoard at all. It's just a few couple of trinkets that it had collected. There is a small chest that is full of coins. There's a few very fine gemstones. There is a long sword that is very intricately drawn with leaves, gilded leaves all on the sheath of it. There is a necklace that has a small pendant with the emblem of a sun on it. And there are a set of bracers that are very fine, thick, heavy leather bracers.
I look at
I
this
guess
sword for a moment. What does like as I look at this sword, how does it like? Does it just look like it's like how? What kind of thing am I getting just from like looking or holding this sword? As I will also draw on like take it out of the sheath to kind of just admire to look at it.
Sure. This is a very finely crafted longsword. Celestina, it is surprisingly light and very well balanced. And as you unsheath it, there is a nice fine that rings out.
Does it seem like any ordinary sword? Does it seem a little bit like I've been around relatively mundane equipment? That is all I've ever really been around. Does it just seem like really fine, like craftsmanship, or does it seem any different from anything I've seen before? From just being pretty simple with stuff.
So this is definitely something beyond what you've seen before. You're not really able to tell or right away if there's any magic involved, but the craftsmanship that has gone into the blade is far finer than anything you've seen before.
Sure is pretty fancy. And I actually take the sword and I offer it up to either Arguvar or Beor. And I say, this seems like a really fancy sword, but I don't know if it's the type that I typically use. What type of sword is it? It's a long sword.
It's a long sword.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hand it over to you.
nice.
Leaf sword.
Leaf sword. I can't wait for my leaf sword.
Yeah.
But I don't take anything else.
Oh. And the necklace is a sun insignia.
It does.
Would I recognize it? Is it a Palor holy symbol or something?
It is a Tellurian emblem of Tellur. Yeah, the sun god. Yeah, it appears to be a holy symbol, and Beor, as you look over it and hold it in your hand, there is a slight warmth that it is giving off.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure. So actually, I'm going to say, since it is 11 o'clock here, we're going to wrap it up for the night. We can handle some fancy little magic trinkets at the beginning of our next episode. So, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Diceburgh. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time on, that's April already. That's April 5th. Same time, 7:30 on 5% chance here. In the meantime, we have Ash and Shade Committee coming up tomorrow at 7:30, as well as the Lost Minds of Phandelver every Sunday. Those games are weekly, so you can catch those next week, even when we aren't here. Also, check out the 5% Chance YouTube channel, where you can catch up on previous episodes. You can watch past episodes of Diceburgh, as well as this episode in a couple days' time as well. I think I actually did all the plugs I was supposed to do that time.
Yeah.
Yes. I got it. Okay.
We have been Kurtwise on TikTok, all of us collectively.
Yes.
Kurtwise supports patreon.com/dumpstat podcast, baby.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you next time on Diceburgh. For now, have a good night.
Bye.
Hello.
Bye.
I love you.
I love all.